Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, here on Dork Tales. I hope you're all doing well tonight. How are you all doing? Pretty good?
Good. Happy to be
I'm
back.
alive.
All right. Hey, thank
alive.
you. Thank you so much. So if you've been wondering where Mage has been for the past 7 months, we had a series of unfortunate events occur. What they were that we were planning to go on a break anyway. Then we had a catastrophic flood in British Columbia, which took Jen's house away and destroyed most of your property, most of your possessions.
About $10,000 worth of property.
So, and that's like just like personal possessions. That's not like, yeah. So then you've been going from like Airbnb to Airbnb, seeking to put right what once went wrong, like Sam Beckett.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we were supposed to start a little while ago, but then we've had a pair of family emergencies, including a passing. And then as soon as we were ready last week, Christine got COVID. So, and is still recovering, but is well enough to appear on camera for a bit tonight. So thank you so much, Christine, for being here.
I will remain muted most of the time, so you don't have to hear me cough.
All right, so we have a lot to cover tonight, so I'm going to jump into this in just 1 second. So first of all, hello everybody, welcome. This is Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age. I'm your storyteller, Kelly. Now you see in him, and I am very excited and a little bit nervous to get back into this after a long hiatus, like I always am. I just want to let everybody know that tonight's episode is set in the world of darkness. It is a mature game, which means that there will be themes and elements here that could be difficult for some people. There are themes of horror, there are themes of sexuality that appear in this. We're going to try to keep this nice and like rated R cable TV show level, but that means that there may be things here that will crop up that we cannot necessarily provide content warnings for. Anything extreme, I absolutely will, but that is my definition of extremeness, not necessarily yours. So if you need some time, take it. We'll be here when you get back. Besides that, I will say that we've talked about this a number of times in the past. If you're joining us new right now, this is set in the late Victorian era, in the 1890s, which means that there is a lot of sexism in this game, that the players, if you notice, I'm the only guy on the cast, and the players have all asked for this, literally by word. Like, they have all specifically asked for it. So I will do my best, and if you need me to straw man harder, I will, everybody. So with that, let's do a quick round of introductions, and then I'll catch you all up on what's been happening or what happened right before the break. Let's go around. Christine, can you start us off?
All right. Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I play Dr. Evelyn Taylor. Trying to remember what all the things were.
There's a lot to look over.
What the hell is she part of?
She's part of the Electrodyne Engineers, I believe.
Right. Electrodyne. That's the word for it. I was trying to think of like, it's mad scientists. I know that.
Yeah, in the future it'll be the Sons of Ether, or the Society of Ether.
Trying to remember all the different things I need to have open for this.
It's true. I need to actually open a copy of the Nine Spheres as well. I've got 2 copies of the Mage book alone. So yes, you are a user of forces matter and a couple of other things, if I'm not mistaken.
Matter and entropy were my mains, and during our little retrospective, I did buy up prime at the end, which I think I still have to learn, but I paid for it.
Mm-hmm. But your mentor will be able to teach that to you, so that shouldn't be a problem at all.
So over the next couple of sessions, I guess I'll get access to it.
Sounds good. Is there anything that you need to say, or shall we pass it on to Amy?
Nope, I think that's good.
All right, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. I use she, her, they, them pronouns, and I am playing Chastity, Prudence, Goodwin, the, what is it called? Dual tradition, split tradition, dual, whatever it's called, in that she is both a member of the Celestial Chorus and a member of the Cult of Ecstasy.
Nice.
Yes. Good time.
All right, let's pass down to Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen, and tonight I play Josephine Carrington, or Josie, or her really long name that I didn't pull up, so I'm not going to try it off the cuff. And she is a member of the Order of Hermes. mostly dealing with forces and with a little bit of correspondence and prime in there.
Nice. All right. And then finally, Robin, we're back to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robin. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Darcie Harkness, our member of the Verbena. I apologize. I've been trying to re-practice my Irish accent all day. So bear with me as I slide into that accent again, because it's been a hot minute.
It's been 7 months of hot minutes.
Yeah, it's been a lot of minutes.
It's been
yes, 1 minute, 7 months. But yeah, she is life primarily, and then forces and prime as well.
Nice. All right, so folks, if you joined us last time, what you know is that the characters have all ended up together in London, where they have forged some bonds together around, well, some murder mysteries, an angry ghost, also a murder mystery technically, and have been pulled into some Jack the Ripper style killings that culminated in the destruction of the Crystal Gardens. Some decades before it actually burned down, altering the timeline forever. However, in doing so, they also have come across a magic box that they opened last game, or that opened itself after doing some weird sci-fi junk. And that is where we ended game with them talking to a hologram from the future. So that's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff to go on here. There's a large cast list. And if you're on Patreon right now, you're getting regular doses of our intro fiction. Speaking of which, in just a moment, I'm going to read off a little piece of intro fiction to get us into the mindset and get us into the setting, and to maybe expand a little bit on some of the background of things. Now, before we begin, does anybody have any questions about anything?
Don't think so.
I'd like to say
yet.
thank you to the two people. I think it's Random and Professor Multiverse that bought us XP.
Yeah,
already
please.
at the beginning of the game. So thank you.
Buy them some experience. Do it.
Oh, you wanted to ask for our paradox as well.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I did ask you to remind me. So I need everybody's current paradox. So I'm going to go around. Christine. Do you have any?
Looks like it's at 3.
Perfect. All right. Chastity, what do we got?
I also appear to be at 3.
Josephine.
I'm not sure, but I think mine might have cleared.
I think you're at 0. I think that you burned it because you were the only one that didn't have any, I'm pretty sure. And I think Darcie has 1.
Yep, Darcie has 1. She had just blown some the last episode as well.
Okay, so that's good to know. For those of you who don't know Mage the Ascension at all, don't worry. You'll catch up. I guarantee it. Okay. A little nervous to be heading back into this, but better jump in with both feet, right?
Yes.
Then let's do this. Let me just loosen the tie a little bit. There we go. Also, Jen, it took forever for me to get to your fiction, but
Full 7 months.
7 months, yeah, and it's the longest by far. So out of the accrued fiction at this point, which is 5,800 words of pre-fiction, you are a quarter of that. Anyway, so with that, welcome back to Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age. Beyond our world lies a place at the cutting edge of human imagination known as Concordia, a world constructed of the deepest desires of the soul, a convergence of beliefs, aesthetics, and visions united by one shared ethos: magic. And yet, despite its place at the furthest edge of humanity's reach, it is not without fault. For no matter how great our successes, we must always come along for the ride, bringing with us all that we wish we could overcome. The grand halls of the Forces District were as immaculate as ever, swept, mopped, and polished by hundreds of invisible servants composed of the elements. The golden tiles were shined to a mirror sheen and glittered with afternoon starfire as Josephine tried to keep her eyes on her own hazy reflection. It had been a week since her initiation and accepting of her true name, but she knew she still had so much to learn. As such, she had taken to doubling her studies, and had been on the way home from the library when she had come across a pair of familiar faces, her parents, who had insisted upon taking her to lunch in the pavilion. Unable to excuse herself, she agreed. Josephine had hoped to make it home before the inevitable conflict that would come, but as with whenever she ate with her parents these days, the situation escalated in dramatic fashion. "You cannot be serious," her father gasped out in a stage whisper. They were not alone when the fight had begun, and though Patrick had no wish to air his family's dirty laundry publicly, he knew that if he was not the first to act, his wife would be, and that would be much, much worse. "I'm quite serious," Josephine said, quietly chewing her words. She clutched the stack of books closer to her chest and felt it begin to shake. "Quite serious indeed." "Really, Azzy?" her mother chided, fiery temper peeking through the veneer of a tense smile. "Earth, of all places, I thought we'd been able to dissuade you from such foolish notions." Josephine watched her reflection's face darken. Her lip trembled with rage, and she fought to keep her tone flat. "Master Ignatius says that there is no greater experience than that which we earn with sweat and—" "Oh, bugger, you're Master Ignatius!" her mother erupted. With the speed of a striking snake, she snatched a book from the core of the stack at Josephine's breast. There, hidden between copies of a treatise on elementary pyromancy and a user's guide to levitation, was a simple brown book, bearing its title in hand-written script. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Josephine shrieked and dove for the book, but her mother was quicker. Her father feebly reached his own hand out to interject, but he knew there was too much in motion. Her mother continued, "This has nothing to do with your studies and everything to do with you filling your brain with this trash. We taught you better than that, Azure." To punctuate her point, her mother hurled the book to the floor, where it skidded and shot off like a skipping stone, coming to rest at a nearby pillar. It was the last straw. Josephine stamped the heel of her boot down into the golden tiles with such a ferocity that those present feared they might shatter, and yelled, "My name is Josephine Hazel Carrington Bani Tharsis, and I would be called that." Her mother's eyes bulged so wide that it seemed they might try to escape her face. A dark, burned red swelled on the cheeks of both women as they locked eyes in a battle of wills. The air teemed with electricity, ready to erupt. And then a calm, scratchy voice pierced the silence. "Ah, I love this book." The trio turned to see that the dozens in the halls avoiding their scene. Among them, a lone man stepped forward and picked up the discarded book. He was old, unkempt, with long, dark hair hanging limply around a homely face in need of a wash and a shave. A pair of round silver spectacles hung off the bend of his nose where it had once been broken. His clothes were outdated, coat long and cut in a fashion nearly 100 years out of favor, even in Concordia. "I believe you dropped this, miss." The old mage smiled and handed Josephine back her book. Her parents, jolted by this movement, stepped back and bowed deeply. "Might I have a moment of your time?" Josephine nodded her assent. "Yes, of course." Her father stammered. Of course, Master Oh, alone, if you wouldn't mind," the mage added. Her parents darted their eyes back and forth between Josephine and the mage, then excused themselves and reluctantly departed, whispering promises to finish this later at home. When they were finally gone, the old man beamed. "So, you liked the book?" Josephine swallowed thickly. "Yes, loved it. You've read it as well?" "Oh, yes. 3 times. Quite the tale. You're right to defend its merits, Josephine Carrington Bani Tharsis." "You know my name." He laughed, a sound not dissimilar to a crow being strangled. "My dear, after shouting it for the entire Forces District, I doubt there are a few present who don't." "Well, that was..." She flushed. "We are all young once, if we're lucky, and most of us are not so unfortunate to awaken under the watchful eye of our parents. They care for you, you know, though perhaps a bit too much. I wish they understood that I need to walk my own path." "They will, once you've walked it, though I fear not a moment sooner." He held the book out to her, running a talonous finger along the well-loved and worn length of its spine. Josephine reached out to take it, but when he did not release it, she met his eyes. Instead, He asked, I lead the way into the unknown and bring strength where there is fear. I am the creator of invention and the maker of all adventure. What am I? Curiosity, she said after a brief pause. And let your sails always be filled with its wind. He smiled and released the book, thanked her for her time, and departed as quickly as he'd arrived, leaving her to wonder what had just happened. As he rounded the corner, a taller man greeted him. Ah, Master Porthos. I see you've met my student. Ah, Master Ignatius. I wondered where you'd gotten off to. Quite lively, that one. Yes, Master, she's the type of trouble that befits a mage of House Tharsis. The older mage nodded and put an arm on Ignatius's own. Well, I don't believe we'll keep her from Earth for long unless her parents have their way. Ignatius grinned. Oh, I wouldn't worry. I'll sway them yet. I do hope so. Porthos Fitzempress smiled. There's room for a bit more adventure down there yet. There you go, Jen. You got that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And anybody who knows Mage is freaking out a little.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
You got some Porthos action. Everybody loves that. All
Pretty
right.
good.
Yes, and he's a grand poobah.
He is the token character for the Order of Hermes. He's their Dumbledore. Sitting around the seance table, the morning after the fire. The box scans each of you with a bit of blue light, a beam that courses over each of your eyes, recognizing each of your names, reciting them to you. Confirmed. Josephine Carrington, confirmed. Darcie Harkness, confirmed. Chastity Goodwin, confirmed. Dr. Evelyn Taylor. The blue light that erupted formed the shape of a man. Small enough that you could pluck him up with your fingers were he not composed of light. Some type of strange ephemeral being, a spirit, a fairy, something before you. In this day and age, perhaps maybe a holograph. Those did exist then, at least in some circles. The man was portly, dressed in a simple jumper affixed by some length of metal along the front. A high-necked sweater. With a full jowly face, he leaned forward, confused. Hello, is this thing on? Okay, calculations are correct. This should be 1890. The image warbles slightly. Okay, anyway. Hello. I hope this message reaches you well. My name is Thomas Klein. I'm a member of what will someday be known as Iteration X, from the Technocratic Union. Kind of, sort of. What you hold in your hands is my life's work. Also, sort of. Many lives, many variants. I'll get down to brass tacks. I need you to help me save the world. You mind? No? Good. Let's get started. I don't have long, but let's just say that the basic rule of time travel is that it's not possible. The time is inviolable. And yet, apparently it has been, because when I created this iteration of this device, it was the year 2020. And here it is, sometime in the end of the 19th century. It is only by some type of statistical providence that the device ended up in your hands rather than theirs. And so I'm asking two things of you. First, keep it safe, please. It's so much better in your hands than in theirs. I mean, I honestly would prefer it not even be in your hands, given the catastrophic... I'm getting off topic. Keep it safe. And second, I need you to get this to someone even safer than you. There's a man I need you to find. Dr. Gilbert Saxon. He's a member of the Guild of Analytical Reckoners in London. But in about 90 years, he is going to be my mentor. I trust him. He's one of the only people I trust as much as myself. He'll know what to do. Even if he doesn't know it yet. Oh, and don't try to talk to me. I should have mentioned that first. I'm basically a recording with some very limited AI. You have no idea what I had to do to get this, but if you need to do, you don't know what AI is. I'm little more than a phonograph. If you want more answers, find Dr. Saxon. Thanks. The future's up to you, I guess. Oh, that sounds after school special. Good luck.
I'm gonna poke the image.
It's going to go, and it's going to go dead. Teddy looks over. Did you kill him?
Maybe.
Evelyn's gonna start poking and looking at the box.
It
He
is.
said he was from the future.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, I suppose it makes some sense. If you can.
I mean, he wasn't dressed like anything fashion from this. He was wearing some weird clothes, but
He wasn't even dressed like anyone I've seen in Concordia. They're usually slightly off of Earth.
can you turn it back on? Maybe we can talk to him again.
Evelyn, I would like you to do me, if you're just doing a quick look at the box with your like normal traits, please make me an intelligence or perception, your choice, and crafts roll. You could also use science metallurgy or something like that if you had it, but crafts is probably the best. If you have access to, I don't think technology is on the Victorian era sheet.
It is.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah, so I have technology.
So
I
technology.
do not have crafts.
Technology would be fine.
Okay. And doesn't matter to me which perception or int, they're both the same.
Sounds good. If your specialties apply, then it might be a little different, but that's about it.
No specialty.
Okay. So,
Okay,
and those
and that was. Remind me now how this goes. It's I roll that number of dice, correct?
you're gonna roll that. So you roll the number of dice, and this is going to be against a difficulty of 7. This is gonna be a difficulty of 8 because this is a material that you have never come across before.
Okay, so I want 8 or higher.
You want 8s or higher,
And 10s do not explode unless I have a skill, right, or specialty.
unless you have a specialty, right?
Okay,
And you would have
And-
to have a 4 in something before you have a specialty.
right. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have no specialties.
It's been a while since we played Mage, but
Do attributes get specialties?
everything, even spheres get specialties. The only thing that
Okay,
doesn't
so I
is
need to
air
figure out 2 for attributes then, because I thought it was just skills.
Oh no, absolutely. But
Okay, because I need one for perception and intelligence then.
okay. I would assume perception would be something like details for you.
3 successes.
Okay. Any of them 10s?
1. No, 2.
2? Okay. Is detail oriented something for perception maybe?
Sorry?
Detail oriented?
Sure. That makes sense for her.
All right. So go ahead and re-roll those 10s then. So write that down on your line.
1 more success.
1 more success. So 4 successes. Okay. So those of you that had prime side off, I'm pretty sure Darcie did at the very least. And I'm pretty sure that Charity did.
I think Chas had time.
So this definitely is undulating with well, it was. So those of you that have prime side off, you'll see Evelyn begins like tinkering and poking at this around the edges. This was glowing with a strong amount of quintessential energy. It was radiating both prime as well as prime and time. And those of you that have spirit as well would have been detecting that with prime sight. However, when Josephine pokes the little man and the device goes, the prime signature just fades off immediately. So prime sight no longer is functional on this. However, if you were using time sight on this specifically, looking at it, you are going to see that there is, looking at this is kind of like looking at an old CRT television with really bad vertical hold with your time sight. It's
Nice.
like it hurts your eyes to look at with time sight. This is kind of wrong, and it's kind of like looking at it is it's giving you a strange effect. I'm thinking of, have you ever been in a haunted house, Amy? The ones where they spray paint things in those day glow colors that make your color vision distort?
Vaguely.
So when you look at this with time sight, it stands out from the background in a way that is straining on your eyes. In a dark room, this would be day glow.
Okay.
So, Evelyn, as you are poking around with it, you are going to note a couple things. Number one, this appears to be some type of metal alloy that is stronger than any... Are you poking at it with tools, trying to scratch it with anything?
Oh yeah, like she'll, if like a quick look is kind of like, okay, she'll pull like her full kit out and start.
You cannot
Poking at it.
scratch its surface. There are some painted marks on it, it looks like, where like the DOVE writing is. That is scrapable. You can scratch the paint job, but the actual metal is harder than your tools. So it's harder than steel. With that, you
Now I know that Josephine is Order of Hermes,
Yes.
and they use a lot of gems and stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm going to ask if she has any. Josephine, do you have anything hard, like gem-wise? More metal?
I
Anything
might.
harder than steel?
Give me a second.
Or anything I can experiment with, please? And she's going to pull out her notebook and start making notes on what manages to scratch or not scratch the surface.
I have a couple of things. Your best bet would probably be the diamond dust.
Yes, you could assemble that using matter into something with a point.
I was going to say, can I use matter to like make it into like a little thin needle or something?
How would you do that? Do you have like is there like some magnetism you do, like a spray?
I would probably have to make something up as I go, which would be opening up my little kit of chemicals and start measuring drops and drips and... Okay, well, a little bit of that for that property and that.
Okay, give me an Arete roll.
And then probably a sprinkle of some sort of gum or something to...
Sounds good.
And then it'll evaporate away and there it is.
This is basically just going to be a shape matter, so it's going to be difficulty of 5, please.
Yeah, is that...
So you take your Arete dice.
So that is a rote for me.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So rotes
Shape
were...
object?
Yeah, we were only using rotes for concentration penalties.
Okay, cool.
So,
I can never remember exactly how it works. There's too many different rules.
But you have a specialty focus for matter, which can be included, so it could be difficulty 4 if you don't use that. And I forget what your matter focus is because it's been 7 months.
That's a good question.
It's probably chemistry. Knowing you and your background.
Well, that's what most of my matter things were.
Yeah, so if you use chemistry,
Based
it's a
on-
-1 difficulty.
Okay.
And
And
you
then
literally,
it's
you need
just
like...
an arete roll, right?
Yeah.
Arete?
Yeah.
I need more arete. I hate this 3 dice thing.
Pay for seekings.
Right? Everyone. Everyone needs more
That's
arete.
1 success then.
1 success. Okay, so you'll be able to force it together for just basically a few seconds. And in doing so, you can just go ahead and scratch it, and it will leave a gouged scratch. So it will be able to scratch that. By the way, I also Googled it to make sure that it could. So, scratching a little bit of it off. You could take some, so you're actually going to be able to like scratch little flecks of it off. You could take that to your chemistry kit and try to just do a mineral detection to figure out what it is using matter 1.
Yeah, totally. She'll try and catch that in a little piece of paper, and she'll rip a little bit off of her notebook.
Yeah, you could do that. It'll take a couple of minutes to go set that up, but you absolutely
she'll
can.
try and catch what remains of the diamond dust once it redisintegrates and give it back to
It'll
Josephine.
just basically like act like a cigarette.
All right, she's gonna try and like have something under it, knowing that that's gonna probably happen, to try and catch it.
What are Darcie and Chastity doing during this?
I think Chas is sort of watching and also kind of perplexed and thinking.
Nearby, Amelia will lean in. Yes, because she exists. I will say, who's the little blue man?
I think he said his name was...
Why is the little
Why?
blue? Why is there a little blue man?
You know, I'm not entirely sure on that one myself. But I think it has something to do with time travel.
Well, time travel's impossible, Teddy's gonna say. It's impossible. Well, I mean, it's improbable, definitely.
Chas is just gonna give him a sidelong look of like,
Well, it is! It's supposed to be.
I mean, evidently not. We have Mr. Blue Man from the future. I don't remember any Blue Men.
Well, I don't know who Mr. Blue Man is or whatever those groups that he was talking about were, but I think that it's got to be...
well, I just...
Maybe it's
would
real.
like-
I don't know.
If you
Can you go jump on Amelia's lap? I think she might need some comfort.
What's that?
Oh, Darcie's talking to Bram, her familiar, and she was like, go jump on Amelia for comfort.
All right, fine. The one-eyed cat will crawl up on Amelia's lap and go, meow. Oh, that nice cat.
Hey, just stay here for a second and pet the cat. Okay?
Yeah,
I need to 1 second. And Chastity's gonna rather abruptly just like turn, grab Teddy's by the sleeve, and then
Nope.
grab Darcie by the other sleeve because it's kind of like huddle while the other two are doing their thing. So So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling forward in time
Yeah, we're doing that right now.
is possible.
Yeah.
So why would traveling back in time not also be possible?
Have you tried to unbake a pie? Have you tried to uneat a meal?
Yeah, it was really unpleasant.
Yeah, now try to uneat all of them. I don't know, it could be possible. I've only ever heard of this. Have I ever heard of this? I'm going to roll to see if he's ever heard of this. 1 sec. Oh my god, he got a 9. I've only heard like one story of anybody who successfully jumped back and forth in time, and that was Acrites, the Sahajiya from the first Cabal.
So it's possible.
I mean, yeah, he had a permanent fart cloud for the rest of his life around him that I think melted people. I don't know. It was weird.
Oh wait, Chas, you said you're familiar with jumping forward in time. Do you just mean like?
Well, and I mean, I'm not sort of.
Okay. Well, why?
This never really came up before.
Have you time traveled before?
Like a few minutes.
No, you're thinking about blackout episodes when you've had a little too much or you're tired.
I have sped up and reversed the flow of time.
Yes, but you existed in that time and experienced it during the time.
She wasn't talking to me, she was talking to you. You're really pale right now, Chas.
You're kind of nervous.
Let's just say that when I said I wasn't from around New York, I didn't exactly.
You're from Massachusetts.
Yes, but Massachusetts wasn't really quite. It wasn't Massachusetts when I left, or yet.
You mean it was Vermont?
What?
It's Vermont.
No.
It's next to Massachusetts.
No, I mean that I
Vermont is
was
next to Massachusetts, right?
I was there, I was in a church, and then
That's your first mistake.
everything was different when I blinked or woke up. And then nothing was the same anymore.
Are you saying you traveled forward in time?
Unless I was asleep for, like,
You are a witch!
well,
Excuse
duh.
me. I find my people find that quite derogatory.
Oh, I'm
term.
sorry. I wasn't trying to culturally appropriate, but you can both be witches. Can I be a witch? Is witch a gendered term? Am I a
I
warlock?
don't think so. I think it's more the practices that you do.
Am I a warlock? I could be a warlock.
What I'm trying to say is that if things can move forward in time, I think it was a couple 100 years.
You blinked forward a couple 100 years.
Yes.
Hmm.
Wow. I'm way out of my league. Oh, the magic.
That's not the point. The point is that clearly
If you could go forward, someone could come back. Time is
Yes.
malleable.
because I should not exist now because I should be long dead.
Well, yeah, but it's different going upriver, right? It's right. That makes sense because like you change stuff, and then you don't have to like.
But if you think about that, what would she have done?
Well,
When
anything that
what's the
I would
time
have
that she
impacted when I
left?
was there never got done because I wasn't
Exactly.
there.
Yeah, but what you did didn't happen. It's like okay, so like when I was growing up, we had a maid, right? Like we had Rosa. So and Rosa would clean everything. She would bathe grandfather and all of that stuff, right? But one day she was sick, right? So she didn't get up, and so stuff didn't get done. Grandpa didn't get bathed. And then she was fine the next day and she got back to work. So it's the same with you. Like you just weren't there to do your bathing. you weren't present, so you couldn't have done anything in that time period, is what I mean to say. So it's different than going back and adding things that, because it's not like Rosa could. Okay, the Rosa metaphor doesn't really work when we talk about going back in time.
I don't.
Okay, I need a drink.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you can swim upriver. It's harder, but you can still do it.
And then you can redirect rivers. I mean, are we talking about the way the physical river is, it flows? Or are we talking about the river itself and that putting barriers in it changes it? Because if you go upriver and then just put a big boulder in the way, you redirect the river.
Look, they did that in Chicago once, okay? That doesn't mean that you can redirect rivers everywhere.
I mean, it's really difficult, but why would you not be able to do that with time if time is river?
Because you would be crushed under the weight of the river, probably? This is okay. We're out of our league. I'm like a disciple of time, and you're like a disciple of time. We need to talk to some experts about this.
Like who?
Who?
Yeah.
I mean, other ecstatics, obviously.
True.
I might know something. Stay here. I have an idea. And Teddy's gonna turn and honestly skip off.
Jess is gonna look at Darcie. I have no idea what's going on.
Honestly, me neither. I'm a simple Irish girl from the countryside. I didn't even realize time travel was possible. I didn't even realize magic was that possible until 6 months ago. And now this. It's certainly been exciting getting to know you all.
Yeah, but she's gonna point at the box that Evelyn's fiddling with.
Mm-hmm. Evelyn's just starting to come back with her like chemistry set and setting it up on a nearby table.
When I look at that through the lens of time, it is weird. It does. Like, that looks like someone stuck a boulder in a river type weird.
So you can still see it, because I had prime and forces I could sense on that as well. But it was gone the second that she touched the blue man. It is gone. It's like it's no longer having that magic. But you can still see it with like the weird time.
Now, meanwhile, back at the table, Josephine, what are you doing since you touched the blue man and made him vanish? Evelyn's run off and got her chemistry kit and has set it up on a nearby table.
He's pulling goggles on and
I'm just interested in what Evelyn's doing.
Okay.
Because I had to find the diamond dust and then
so Evelyn,
see her turn it into things.
Evelyn, can you give me an arete roll? And Josephine, you could actually help with this weird alchemy if you wanted to try.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's just chemicals. That's alchemical processes. So if you want, you can roll your arete as well. You're both looking at a difficulty of 4.
That's 3 successes, 2 of which were 10s.
Okay.
Aren't we re-rolling 10s on arete rolls alone?
Oh yeah, we were rolling.
Oh, were we?
We were on. We were to make things chaotic.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got 3.
Okay.
That's 2 more successes,
Holy
so 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 successes between you. So this box has a number of components in it, some very strange ones. As you are breaking down, it's once you know what to look for, basically like what the outer hull is made of, you can start using various techniques to try to I want to say scan, but it's the wrong term for this era. To check its voltage, to check what it is inside based on structural resonance, tuning forks, things like that. The outer hull is a mix of an element known as titanium and another that seems to be tungsten with a significant amount of carbon in it, like a carbide. Now, tungsten carbide is not particularly used in this day and age. In fact,
Evelyn's going to make note of it since it seems quite strong.
it is, in fact, tungsten carbide. Doing a quick search, both of you are going to see that diamond is about the only thing that can scratch it.
Mm-hmm.
On the hardness index, it is Mo's hardness index around at this point? I forget. But
I'm actually not sure.
I'm actually not sure if Mo's is as well.
I have a feeling diamond implements were known to be a thing, or at least something that it was strong. Not necessarily that they were using it for stuff.
So what you will see is a number of things. For one, this is
1822.
1822. Perfect. Thank you so much. So this on Mo's is just because I took geology and earth sciences, so it kind of it is freaking hard is what it is, but not as hard as diamond. Inside, though, you are going to discover that this is there's a core at this, so it has a few other things in it, as well as what appear to be some isotopes. You've only heard about this secondhand, but it is kind of reminding you of things that are similar to some experiments that are going on involving radium. Presently, and polonium, which are right around this time period. I'm going to say that the technocracy, or the Order of Reason, is a little bit ahead of Marie Curie on this. But tungsten is an 8 to 9, and so carbide would actually be like a little even higher probably. This has radioactive isotopes inside of it. Something inside is actually shedding energy. Kind of like certain battery cells that you've probably seen in Concordia and that you've probably seen in the Order of Reason. Now, they're still very rudimentary batteries in this day and age, even for the super science. We're not talking lithium ion. But you're detecting little traces of uranium. You're detecting traces of titanium, as I said, as well as a strange material that appears to have no known element directly linked to the periodic table. Now, I need to ask, do either of you have Prime?
I do.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm working on it.
So, poking around at this, you are going to see that it has some strange using matter magic. You guys got 8 successes. I'm gonna say that you pull enough information to know just to quickly investigate it with a little bit of Prime. Put a couple of drops of like pure essence or something on top of it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to make you roll for that. This is a material that is fused with quintessential energy.
Fascinating.
It's an inner lattice work that's doing this. There's also a number of other things. There's a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, precious metals, anything you'd find on a circuit board, probably some platinum, a little bit of palladium probably. But for the most part, it is the tungsten carbide shell with some titanium meshing, as well as glass. There's some LED strips and panels, as well as some of the lenses inside of there are white sapphire refractor lenses. Overall, this is a very valuable box in terms of you could just sell its raw materials for pretty good. But looking at that, you probably have not heard of something like this, but a material that fuses natural materials with that of the quintessential. What the modern day would call premium, but who knows what they call in the Victorian era, because I couldn't find it.
Fair. Probably doesn't exist in Victorian era yet, so.
Probably not. You can never tell with the Technocratic Union, though.
This is true. It's at least not widely available. Let's put it that way.
Probably not known to a hermetic, right? Like, it's one of those, like, you're probably a little in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I will.
If Josephine describes it,
Yeah.
would Evelyn potentially have heard of it? If it exists.
I'm sorry?
If Josephine describes it, would Evelyn potentially have heard of it?
I want you to make
considering she is part of, or was.
Can I can't remember the magic system very well right now, but is it possible for me to put Prime Sight on Evelyn?
Yep, absolutely. It would cost you an extra success.
Cool.
And
I'm
I need
gonna
you
do
to
that so
describe
she can just see it.
So how do you do this?
So I have my lovely powders. And I have gold, and I tell her, Evelyn, just close your eyes for a minute. I'm gonna help you be able to see this.
All right, she's wearing her goggles still. These
Oh yeah,
big round
actually, I could
lenses.
probably just do it on the goggles. So I'll just on the goggles.
That sounds good. So
put some gold there. And mutter some Latin.
Go ahead. I want you to make a roll for this because you do have to get 2 successes. So this is going to be at a difficulty of you're using your own tools, so 3. Your chance of failing is pretty low.
Well, and I think of the 2 people who could do this sort of thing to each other, it would be the Hermetic.
Yep.
And the Electrodyne, because Hermetic stuff is basically mad science.
We can connect on things like alchemy and stuff. There's just
it can be described on that level fairly easily.
Yeah, there's some weird like theory behind what I do that you'd be like, but this other logical thing.
Yeah, so long as you don't talk of specifics, you can probably do it. Once you get too nitty gritty, you'll stab each other.
So yeah, 4 successes.
I feel like that could be very entertaining that one day. The others are just going to be sitting there baffled while Evelyn and Josephine discuss like the in-depth reason why things work.
We had a whole conversation about spirits.
Yeah.
So, to see if you would, Christine, do you have points in politics?
No.
Okay. Do you have points in... so do you have technology? I will let you make an intelligence...
I have technology and science.
I will let you make an intelligence and science roll. What is your science of choice?
I had not put one down.
Okay, so in the meanwhile, we'll say science, difficulty of 10.
Okay.
Don't forget that 1 subtract. So.
No.
Okay, 1 success.
1 success.
You've heard about theoretical things that have been discussed using basically anti-magic materials. Specifically quintessence infused or primal energy infused objects that naturally would be able to resist magical tampering. Similarly to how you could bless or charm an item or a person with magic, you can charm a substance with it in order to make it resistant to outside forces. Seems like there's a core inside of this that is actual.
Okay. That's essentially magical in some way.
It's innately fused with magical energy.
Yes. She wants to take this whole thing apart.
You have no idea how.
Nope, but she wants to.
All right. Meanwhile, on the other side of the room, what are you two doing? Just watching them like scratch and like little like plumes of smoke coming up off of this table.
I probably
think at
have a
some
little
point-
like structure of glass bulbs and tubing and stuff that I'm putting different amounts in.
I think at some point Darcy's probably going to go to the kitchen and try and scrounge up making food for breakfast because she's like,
You guys already
is-
had a bunch of food with last game. There was a big breakfast scene.
right,
Yes.
yes.
Evelyn's
All right,
mentor cooked.
Darcie's just
Gonna snack?
staring then.
Oh, okay.
I feel like at some point there needs to be a big poof of smoke of some sort, just to set off the mad scientist image.
I think Josie also like rummages through her bag and she has like essentially a travel kit of like chemistry stuff that she also starts setting up with you.
Oh, have you considered adding a little bit of the cadmium? And various other just starts. Do you want to try that one? I'll try this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Science.
Okay.
Meanwhile, like Evelyn's doing this one-handed looking at it and writing at the same time.
The sound of footfalls appears behind you in the hallway, and soon Teddy bursts back into the room. Okay, all right.
Pardon me.
I know where they are.
Where you are?
The ecstatics.
Okay.
Do you want to? We could take the box to get verified.
Just gonna look over at Evelyn and Josephine. Are you done yet?
Well, I mean, we don't have to go right now. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning.
There's still a few tests I'd like to run.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, what time do you? Whenever you want to go, I know where some people who can verify this are.
Do we want to be showing people?
That's one of the things I'm concerned about. But also,
We have people chasing us. I don't know if we want to be taking this thing around London.
I mean,
I'm sure verification of some sort would be good. Would be valuable.
not to be coy, but I'd prefer not to just trust a box on its own word.
That's why we're doing tests.
Like time tests?
No, I don't have time. I don't have time magic.
Okay.
do at least need to make sure that it is actually from not the present time. Because if
And based on what he said, it certainly sounded more along the lines of what the Order of Reason might talk, versus, say, a more traditional mage.
Robin, what do you have?
I'm just pointing out something that the two science people might have thought about from a thing of being able to check this time is, but carbon dating was just started in the, just kidding, 1940s. Haha, never mind me. Never mind.
Yeah,
me.
no, that
I'm a
was not
science geek.
Victorian era.
Nope. Carbon dating was not a thing yet. Never.
Actually, I
mind.
found out that diamond scalpels were not created until 1955.
Nope, used obsidian before then, usually.
Yeah.
I learned that from a Batman podcast.
The Mohs scale existed prior, but
Yeah.
diamonds tipped scalpels did not.
So many of our inventions happened in like a 200-year span. We're just like,
Yep.
it's ridiculous. Okay, so what is the plan? Like, what do we want to do? I'm petting the cat, Amelia says. Meow, says the brawn.
Where is actually Dr. Freeman as well?
Dr. Freeman, I believe it stepped out, it's been a while. I believe Dr. Freeman stepped out to go and check on the circle and some nearby things. But actually, you'll hear the door open, and Dr. Freeman will come back inside, rolling his sleeves back down around his wrists. What did I miss? magic
futuristic
box.
box.
It does appear rather futuristic, yes.
It
said it was
projected
from the
an
future.
image that spoke to us.
Oh.
It said it was like a gramophone, so a recording.
Hold on. Excuse me? It projected an image.
Well, it was a little see-through blue man.
That talked to us.
Or it's haunted by a ghost from the future?
He spoke very oddly and dressed slightly oddly, but
At Chastity's words, can I do a quick spirit sight on this? To be like, is it
Yes.
a ghost from the future?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
Cool.
So just don't worry about rolling. But what I
Okay.
would like you to do is make me a perception and awareness roll.
I have dots, and that is
Alternatively,
good.
this is not a standard roll, but I'll allow you to make me a perception and spirit roll if you want as well.
It's the same dice pool.
Okay, then do it.
What am I looking for?
On this, tell me what you got.
I got a 10, an 8, a 5, and a 3.
The 10 is all you needed for sure. This thing is kind of vibing strangely. Like looking at this, you're gonna get a similar vibe to the way that Chastity was looking at it. This is slightly out of. When you look at this, it's like the lighting is wrong on it.
Interesting.
Like the shadows are slightly different, or maybe like it doesn't fit here.
Is it the ghost of Christmas future? Or no?
Maybe?
So
It doesn't belong.
what have we determined?
Really?
Dr. Freeman says, stepping closer and looking at your experiments.
some of the makeup of it. What was Teddy's last name again?
Dashwood.
Dashwood.
Dashwood. Mr. Dashwood has located the statics and has offered that we could potentially, I believe, speak to them regarding verification of time travel, I suppose.
Certainly doesn't belong in this time.
Well, Mai and I have taken a look at the portal in the backyard. It needs some structural calibrations to make certain that it is safe to use. That'll take a little bit of time. I mean, no, it won't. It should work fine right now, Teddy's going to say from across the room. It may work right now, but it also may fling us halfway into the sun.
I would prefer not to have that happen.
I hope not to tan until we're at the Riviera, but fair. Fair point.
Whereabouts can we find your ecstatics, Teddy?
There's just a little place down by St. John's Square.
Is that close to us?
I honestly don't remember where Teddy's place is in town. Does anybody remember? I think it was just...
remember it was a kind of a little out of.
It was in
I don't
like
remember
kind
exactly
of a
where it
nicer
was, but I thought it was a nicer area.
Yeah, it
At
was
the
nicer and kind of.
safe house. Dashwood. Oh, it's in Notting Hill. So let's do Notting Hill because this is the one thing I didn't check. Notting Hill, St. James Square.
That was what I was going to ask, was as a Londoner for the last several years, do I recognize the name of that area as a good area?
Oh, yeah,
or
St.
not
James Square is
so
quite
good
nice.
area? Oh, where the statics are.
So is it St. James Square? Let me just check. Hold on. Got like 100 tabs open about this because I did way too much research on this. And I was very happy to find a couple of things. In the city of Westminster. Yeah, St. James. Okay. They're 4 miles away. So basically, they're on opposite sides of Hyde Park.
Okay.
So you could reach there by going through Kensington, Belgravia, and up, or you could go by Mayfair and Paddington, because I want an excuse to say Paddington.
I mean, I guess that's not too long of a trek. I was just, if we're traveling with this magical box from the future, probably the shortest distance would be good.
Well, if you need to get it to the ecstatics, I could happily drive you. I could change the color on the carriage so that it's not quite as recognizable. Then you have a getaway car ready. I'll even wait outside. I have a feeling that wherever Mr. Dashwood would be welcome might not be quite so accommodating to myself. Because you're a scientist? Yeah. Let's just say I relish the days where we would return to Paris, where things are a bit more civilized. Fair.
What kind of place are you taking us to, Teddy?
Well, there is, well, and this is the point where I would like to ask, do you want to do a scene flip? What kind of place are we taking us? Cut to? Or do you,
Sure.
do you have
Sure.
stuff in the meanwhile you want to do?
Well, I mean, depending
no,
on
as
if
long
the
as,
place
like-
we're going is... Darcie's probably going to change her look if we're going to the place I'm thinking we're going to.
You are going to a place, you're going to end up at a place called Miss Falkland's Temple of Love.
Yeah, Darcie's going to turn herself into a man. 'Cause
Okay.
she can.
Good call.
Okay. So this is an actual factual place. Jen, thank you for helping me acquire this book. So I have been doing lots of research into the underbelly of Europe as well. Quick note here. Let's see, Georgian lap dancers, each club, blah, 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 blah. At first, one could only find such adventurous clubs in London. There was a women-only club on Jermyn Street offering discreet lesbian encounters, the Molly's Club that offered gay members, and the Flagellants Club as well. But then, of course, there is Philanderers, Jordan Club, where is it? Hellfire Clubs. There's been a lot of fun reading, actually. There we go. Afterward, more energetic gents might continue carousing to upscale commercial venues such as Miss Falkland's Temple of Love on St. James Square, where one could sip champagne in a damask-lined parlor before using the elastic beds, spring-loaded to provide new heights of pleasure, much like the vibrating beds of Vegas hotels. I'm a historian! I'm a pervert!
They have a club for everyone.
They do. The fact that
Yeah.
there were gay and lesbian clubs alike in Victorian London is fantastic, as well as a flagellants club. We could find you work, Chastity.
Yeah.
It's not even a joke. That's what she does.
Yeah. No, everybody thinks like Victorian era people were completely repressed and buttoned up and all that. And like, yes, a certain subsection of them were. The ones you hear the most about, the middle class.
But here's the thing about buttons.
The rest, on the other hand.
Buttons open, people. All right, so, well, there's a place called Miss Falkland's. It's a club of sorts.
Evelyn's just gonna give him a look.
It's a temple of love. Miss Falkland's Temple of Love. It's a brothel. Well, it's a nice one, to be sure, and everyone should be welcome inside. I mean, even Dr. Freeman should be fine so long as he has some coin. I'll be fine in the carriage. I'll probably draw less attention as well. Dr. Freeman, of course, being like a 6-foot-plus black man in the late Victorian era or mid-Victorian era. It's quite a nice place, and it is one of two places I know. There's also there's a good chance that they could also be hanging nearby at the Haymarket Theater. But I'm gonna be honest, it's probably easier to find somebody there. We just need to find.
And it's on St. James Square.
Mm-hmm. They're not that far from each other, actually. Just basically on other sides of the square.
Well, at least that's not the most disreputable place.
It's quite nice, actually, if I remember correctly. I haven't been to Miss Falkland since I was 14? 13? I remember it being quite nice.
How are they towards, like, women coming in?
If you've got money, they're usually fine. I think that you probably want to go to mall.
Are we going to have to purchase services in order to meet whoever you wish us to meet?
Probably not. Don't worry, I can loan you money.
I'm not interested.
Oh, well,
I'd rather not get confused on that point.
push comes to shove, you could always say you're looking for your brother. You're looking for your brother.
Just give me a moment. I'm going to be right back. And Darcy's just gonna walk out the door to the bathroom and actually, Teddy, could you point me to your closet?
I was gonna say, do you have clothes on hand?
I mean, there's the walk-in closet upstairs that we found the body near.
I'm going to be performing something that I'm going to change my physiological aspects. I might need some man clothes to change into.
Yeah, ransack the house. It's not my stuff.
That seems exciting.
I don't know how to tie a tie, so I might need your help afterwards.
Oh, I can do that.
She's very good at tying knots.
And ties.
That would be great if you
Well,
could
same
assist me. I've never dressed as a man before, but it's something I've been practicing.
You're a very
with
pretty
my-
girl. Why are you going to be a man? You gonna be a pretty
not?
man? I mean, I guess not. I guess it's not a big deal. It's just, you know. Eh?
Would we
I
get
think it's gonna
better
be great.
Would it
I mean,
get
yeah, it might be
better
great.
service if I was a man, or would it be the same if I go in as a woman?
Yeah,
You know, I think you'd be attractive either way.
I'm not much for a red-haired man, but I feel you. Yeah. Man up. Probably would be usually the safer choice in London. Or New York. Or... Huh. Teddy has a brief woke moment.
I'm going to be a few moments, and then Darcy will go
What do-
find the walk-in closet.
I'm afraid that I missed exactly what she was going to go do.
I think she's gonna go be a man. I wish I could do
Convenient
that.
that she can do that.
Dr. Taylor, you have a very interesting company here. Cutting to the room that you go into, Robin. I need to know what the procedure for this looks like. What is the ritual? Is
So
it
the
like a
ritual-
series of like bitter herbs? Is it like bloodletting? Like how is it?
So I think-
Kill a pig, become a man? Like
No, I think what happens is she's going to take out her mother's book of shadows and find the spells about that, and she's going to basically take a knife and basically bloodlet from basically the areas that she wants to adjust slightly. So she's going to probably make a cut, like a light bloodletting across like just underneath of her chest and just slightly above her, like, groin area.
Mhm.
And she's just basically going to almost like draw her new body for that.
Okay. So what you're going to need to do is you got the Book of Shadows. This is going to be difficulty of you're doing this in isolation inside of a magic-y house. So I'm going to say that this is going to be let's check the magic system because it's been 7 months. And we've gone back to normal mage. This will be uncanny.
Okay.
So you're looking at a difficulty of 6. Now, if you have any quintessence on your sheet, you can spend that to lower the difficulty.
Okay.
And what you are looking for is you're looking for duration primarily on this. So to do basic changes like this, let's take a look real quick.
Yeah, where's my spheres book? Because I remember that being on life, and I was like, ooh, yes, this will be helpful for...
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I think
Victorian.
I cut you off a minute ago, Christine, when you were saying a reply to Dr. Freeman.
Yeah, she kind of was gonna stutter for a moment and just be like, I believe you introduced them to me.
Okay, good. I needed to hear the end of that, and I apologize. I'm trying to juggle. So, yeah. Shapeshift. It's not tactically shapeshifting. It's... grow new limbs or other features. Sounds about right. So, what I'll say is that every success is going into duration. The base success will count for... So let's divide this down real quick. So you need 1 success basically for the lower body physiological alterations. Okay, we'll just say that the sex organ switch over will be 1 success, and then to further look like a man, what we'll say is that it'll be probably, we'll say it's 2 successes for the whole package, like up and bottom, top and bottom, be 2. Okay, that's not including duration. Beyond that, if you want any other changes, to say broaden your shoulders, to enhance your jawline, those will be basically another success to kind of cover each degree of like masculinity on the scale. Right? It's not exactly like set in stone, but like how far away from your feminine form are you trying to reach? If it was life 4, you'd be able to do it with the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
But because this is life 3, you kind of have to piecemeal it, right? So like, you know, you could add claws or cat's eyes. So, you know, so what you're going to do, the chat's freaked out about the word limb. Yeah, limb, add a limb. Duh. Okay, so what you're going to be looking for is you want this to last for, so you'll need 3 successes, 3 successes plus 1. Okay, so you'll need a minimum of 4 successes, and each degree of success beyond 4 successes will add to a more masculine appearance. Okay. So you'll basically be a slight man with fairly, like, probably fairly androgynous features.
Yeah.
You know, before then, and then it'll just kind of like, you'll turn slowly toward the, it's like on like one of those filters, you're just moving more toward Arnold Schwarzenegger or Andre the Giant, I guess would be the far end of masculine. Okay. Cool. So you go from Tinkerbell to Andre the Giant. That's the scale. Just...
Great.
Okay.
Mage is, I can spend a willpower to get a success, right?
You can, yes. And so long as you get half of your attempted successes, you can roll again. Alternatively, we could turn this into a ritual casting if you wanted to, but that would take several hours.
No, it's fine. I'll try and do.
Okay, so quick. You're at difficulty of 6.
Okay.
Okay.
That's with the book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
Yep. Okay. Do you have any quintessence to spend?
I do, but I think I have to save that for Brahm because I've not fed him in a while.
He'll be okay.
Okay. I'll use that then.
How many do you have?
I have 1.
Okay, so that'll be difficulty 5 on this first roll.
Okay. With 1 success already. All right, that's I got.
And you were going for
5.
6 successes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got 3,
Plus the willpower or including the willpower?
including the willpower.
Okay, so you're halfway there. Whoa.
Yeah.
And because you are attempting again, you may spend another willpower point.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
And you are on difficulty of
6.
It'd be 7 now.
it's
wouldn't
7
it?
because it goes up. It goes up on the second round.
Yeah. It goes up, but because the base is 6, it would go up from 6 rather than from 5.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. That's
I saw the
So-
confusion in your face.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, but I was at 5. How?
Because you
plus
spent
1?
down to quintessence.
Right. Okay.
So,
Yeah,
but
that
if you
makes sense.
continue the second round, it's a +1 difficulty.
Yeah,
So
okay,
go
so
ahead, roll
7.
difficulty 7, and you can spend a willpower again.
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So that's
So you're at 4 successes. So at the very least, you have done this. Now it's all gravy at this point, unless you roll ones.
so 7.
Yeah.
You
So
said? Okay,
7,
so I
8,
got
9,
a
10,
9.
and 10s count for 2.
Yeah, so I got a 9 and a 10,
Okay.
and then a 5. So just 2 more successes on top of that.
Well, that's-
So I'm at 6.
Did you re-roll the 10?
Yeah.
Okay. So what? That's 3 successes with the willpower.
So 6
Yes.
total.
Yes.
So 6 total. Okay. So what do you look like? You are as fully transmogrified into from wee little Darcie into, like, I'm gonna say with that you could probably grow as much as 6 inches in height, and probably put on about 50 pounds of weight.
Yeah, so Darcy's gonna look. She's gonna try and emulate what her what she was going for in her mind is what her her adopted brothers look like as kind of like farm lads. So she's kind of going for that kind of slightly more rugged country boy look, maybe slight broad shoulders, a little bit of like a nice kind of gruff beard and mustache combo. Was fashion?
Yes,
Were they
all
crunchy
facial hairs were
facial
acceptable.
hairs? Okay, cool. So yeah.
Oh yeah, they had insane mustaches in the Victorian
so
era.
probably a nice mustache because Darcy's just like, this is my chance to look like a guy. So she's going like all out. Nice mustache, thick, and yeah, kind of stocky. Some just like a very nice stocky farm boy kind of look. And
Okay, so
she's gonna go start putting on like at least pants.
okay, so we'll cut
And
back
then-
to you in a minute then.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great. So downstairs, in the meanwhile, while this is all happening, what do you all do? What are you all doing with your time?
Chastity's keeping herself from going and interrupting because part of her is like, this is really cool. I want to play dress up, but also maybe don't.
Meow.
But
Evelyn's still playing chemistry.
Yeah, so it's Juicy.
Does anyone have any cards? Does anybody want to play like any snooker maybe? Amelia looks around.
Sure. I mean, I'm just twiddling my thumbs. Wait.
You're twiddling. I'm petting a talking cat. There's a talking box. And your friends are turning into men.
Yeah. That about sums it up, yeah.
I'm not sure how to feel.
Well, that answers the question I was about to ask.
Generally positive.
Okay.
We are still going to Paris, right?
Yes. That is the plan. Once the portal is fixed, I think. I'm not. I don't do the distance stuff. Traveling. Much.
Except through time. I have really good
Yeah.
hearing.
Yeah.
You know that. Plus, I literally had nothing to do except for watch them scratch a box and pet this cat. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. The cat continues to kind of growl.
Yeah, it wasn't really. It's weird.
So Theodore's right. You are the witch. Or a witch?
Like, sort of.
I'm kidding.
You were.
Oh. Oh, my God! I was kidding. I'm very sorry. I was just making
we're
it.
just gonna. It's fine. It's all in the past.
I'm sorry. And she's going to grab the cat. Oh, hey, what are you doing? And throw it on the ground, just kind of as gently as she can, in a hurry. Rude. You'll hear from the cat.
What are you doing?
Giving you a hug. And she's going to walk over and just hug you. I'm sorry. Didn't realize. You're not. You're a wonderful person. I'm terribly fond of you. And I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean...
I mean, she'll kind of pull back and like grab her shoulders, kind of like if she'll let Chastity do that, she'll be like, I mean, I'm here now. So it's all kind of worked out.
You're where you're supposed to be. I have no idea what I would do without you in my life.
It's been one of the good things that I didn't really, when you sort of just don't really know what to expect. So, but it's a good. You're a good thing.
I try.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Are we hugging? Is that what's happening over here? Teddy's gonna kind of walk back into the room. I don't know what she's doing up there, but there were some noises.
Was it not?
No, not good ones.
Normal?
They're fleshy noises.
Oh.
Does anybody have any doctors? Does anybody have any gauze or anything? It smelled like blood when I walked by the room. I kind of want to.
It's.
Can I get someone to? Okay, fine. I'll just.
I can go.
You're not much of a doctor.
Yeah, but I'm good at cleaning up blood.
Fair. Okay, let's I guess let's go check in on her. And sorry, what are you saying, Chastity?
She's just like, yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, upstairs, Darcie, as you were going through this change, it was not pleasant. Let me put it that way. This was not a simple matter of shifting a few things around like rolling flesh, but more of a matter of, honestly, the first part, felt very odd, strange, painful, but not the worst thing you could have thought of. However, the growth of bone and muscle, that hurt. You could feel sinew stretching, snapping, bones reforming, calcifying, shifting, expanding. You could feel this crackle, this scratch, this squeak as you gasped in pain, and you heard the high-pitched lilt of your normal Irish tone crack, scrape, and darken as a lump began to swell at the base of your throat. By the time that you dressed in pants, by the time you stepped outside after wiping the blood off of your newfound form, which was hairier than you expected in places, particularly across the chest, probably. I'm going to say it's probably got like the Pierce Brosnan.
Yep, that's kind of what I was picturing. Yep, it's
Yeah.
kind of like...
And, okay, well, we should probably go check on her. And Teddy spins back into the main entry hall that you can see the top floors from around here, as you see Darcie start to walk down the stairs dressed. You couldn't find any shirts upstairs that would fit, unfortunately. Your shoulders are too broad. You start to walk down the stairs dressed in nothing but a pair of slacks that fit a fairly trim waist, I'm going to say. I'm going to say that you probably didn't put on like much well, hell, the body fat in a woman of Darcie's size stretched over a man 6 inches taller. Yeah, that's probably going to be about like an 8% body fat. Those pants will fit.
Nice.
So what does she look like? What does he look like? What do they look like?
So he has a nice kind of like red, like furry chest. Could we say that the hair like
Darkened?
darkened a little bit? Yeah. Has that nice green eyes, but big bushy eyebrows, a nice kind of bushy mustache with a like set of like beard to match, and just muscly. I'm going to attempt a low accent Irish. I may butcher this a lot. Do you have any pants around? I mean, a shirt. I'm looking for a shirt and jacket.
Aw.
Quick question, Darcie. As you come down the stairs and you see like 3 or 4 people looming in to look at you, is there a moment where you kind of like instinctively try to cover up a bit?
Yeah, I think as she walks out and realizes, she goes like this, and then she's like, kind of like, she puts her hands down and does like the Peter Pan at the top of the stairs a little bit.
Someone's been lifting triangular weights.
I feel very free.
He's bigger than me.
Yeah.
Wait, is he bigger than me? Hey, Darcie!
That was very painful, and I won't be doing that too often, but...
Only for special occasions, huh? I need another drink. This is just too great. Oh. He's gonna stumble off to the kitchen.
How do I look?
Jesse's gonna lean over to Amelia.
Good. You look good.
You know, like sidelong look. Well, I was right? You're still attractive.
This is definitely going to be taking some used to.
Probably itchy
And,
as hell.
and this is a lot going to be
Is it
taking
itchy?
used to. And that is definitely going to be taking some used to. I'm not looking forward to having to go to the washroom for the first time, but it's going to be an experience.
It's much easier. It's like using a hose. You'll hear Dr. Freeman walk out. I see. I doubt that anyone in this house has something that can fit you, but I do. Short sleeve or long? Probably long.
I'm guessing.
I'm going to assume that you don't own cufflinks.
I don't own anything for men.
I'll see what I
I
can
imagine
find.
if the whole wardrobe's here, that there might be cufflinks upstairs.
There probably are. Search for cufflinks, look for a cravat or a kerchief or something like that to wear. I'll bring you a shirt momentarily.
Thank you, Doctor.
I think Evelyn's the only person close enough that would hear Josie mutter under her breath, maybe I should take up life magic.
Would it
It's
be wildly
fascinated by the fact that
inappropriate?
her mass seems to have changed.
Okay, but is it wildly inappropriate if I offer to help him get changed? No
I mean, you already
ulterior
offered tie.
motives or anything.
Are you trying to see Darcie naked?
I don't know. Maybe. Huh.
Well, I mean, we're just a couple of girls helping another girl.
Right?
Right, it's totally acceptable. It's still Darcie, right? Darcie,
But
that's still
what-
you, right?
Yeah,
Totally fine.
honestly, I've just known my brothers, and they're not really proper men. Like, they're farmhands, so
She's
if
not
anyone
even a
needs to
proper
know
man.
what to wear, I need to know what to wear and to look like to be a man.
No. I think she does rather look like a proper man.
Could I get?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Need some help?
Yeah,
Okay. Come on.
we can help you.
Yeah.
I have a yes. Let's
I imagine Amelia might find it very educational.
Educational. That's what. Yeah.
Josie has like her moment of gender envy and then just goes, okay, back to science.
Darcie is loving this. The second that Darcie came out as a man, like, her slightly meek demeanor kind of disappeared because she's just suddenly like,
I'm bigger.
I'm bigger, I'm a man.
bigger and louder, and everyone's looking at me, and everyone wants me to take my pants off, but it's okay because I'm a man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I think that's a good place for us to fade to black on a dressing montage. And with that, why don't we take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these words from us. So, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Mage. We'll be right back, everybody. Hello, folks. Welcome back. We're at the part of the program where it is time to talk to the chat. We're going to do this very quickly, so about 10 minutes. Hope y'all are enjoying being back here. How are y'all having fun? You're all
So
doing
much
well?
fun.
That was so much fun.
So glad to be back.
So good.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying pretending to be a mad scientist.
It's good.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking because we were just talking science before we came back on air, but like I like the idea of Evelyn kind of recognizing that she's in a better spot than she was with the Order of Reason, right? As like you're like mad sciencey things, but you're also like vibing with Josephine that way because and I'm like doing mad sciencey things, but from the hermetic point of view.
Well, I'm slowly trying to like adjust her logic so that it's logic, but it's not logical.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm slowly trying to develop as we go her version of logic for how stuff works. I'm trying to think of ways to say it in a Victorian way of, oh, well, the moon influence means that on this day, blue cadmium will work better than red cadmium, even if those things don't exist.
You just put a little bit of dye in. It's fine. By the way,
Right. Just to get
Forgot
that
about the moon.
feel.
I forgot about the moon.
okay. Oh shit! Your moon phase problem.
Yes. Which
Uh,
I think I'm at +2. Like, or -2 difficulty. Like, it's good for me right now. But
Well, you
Okay,
know
so-
what I forgot about that I just reminded myself about?
it's been a while, right?
Was when we went up to catch the baby. We were up on another floor, weren't we?
Yeah.
In a fairly open area.
Your
Guess who
cost-
has a phobia of heights?
Mm.
Oof.
Who completely forgot about it by that episode.
The
Oh, nice.
the need to rescue the baby overcame that. Yes.
Your feminine instincts, my dear.
Yes.
kicked in.
Are you enjoying using my wine glasses?
I am. I get.
They're
to-
really pretty.
They're pretty.
I like that.
And they were only $20.
Yeah,
Couldn't better.
I'm glad to be back. I'm not quite into Chastity's voice yet, I don't think. It doesn't quite feel right.
Yeah, you're not quite as
But-
as high pitched as she normally is. She's very.
She's sort of,
So I think you're getting the feel of her just fine.
yeah.
It feels like
there.
Chastity, like your expressions and everything.
Yeah, that it feels right. It's just not quite the right pitch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But-
I'm struggling finding Josie too, but
But
get there.
it's fine. It's been 7 months since the last time we played. So,
Right.
folks, thank you so much, everybody in the chat who's saying it was. Some people just said like, oh, it was worth the wait. Kind of a lot of weight, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the sentiment. Also, let's see. Some people saying, thank you so much for missed the beginning. Oh, sorry. Thank you for costuming. That makes your day. We do that all the time. You should come back and watch more stuff if you don't normally.
And actually, right now, these are actually like reproduction level like blouses that we all have. Like Darcie or Robin's is made by a friend, but it's based on all of ours. Ours are all from a site that does historical reproduction work.
But I got this from
costuming?
the historical reproduction site too. So I got the clasp and the
nice.
So it is
The
actually all
shawl, that's
Victorian
hard.
era styles.
Even like the accessories.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
got our fans.
yeah.
I've got
aside from
two
you
different
in the
ones.
chat.
I've got the really modern one, and then I have a much more kind of accurate kind of
Yeah, I have a dollar store one.
wooden one.
right now.
I kind of interchange them as I feel like it.
We got-
And I've got a pocket watch.
Let me see if I can grab my other
Very good.
accessory that I did get from the store
Which-
because I like it.
Guess what I found, Jen? I forgot that I had this until today.
Oh yeah.
I got my little
Yay!
spyglass.
Yeah, I was just trying to find mine. It's like over there somewhere.
So it's funny, this thing has been sitting on my shelf this whole time. And when it's quiet, I can hear it. Tick, 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 tick.
Nice.
I've spent part of today acquiring pieces for people talking costume in the chat for an upcoming game that we have. So for those who are normally into our Dungeons and Dragons stream, we're preparing for a brand new game called Strixhaven, which is a magical school game, and I'm working on my costume for that, which involved. Thank you, Robin, for loaning me those magnets. And I almost lost a finger from it, but it's good.
I know. I'm sorry. They're really strong. I originally bought them for Sassy's horns, but didn't end up working for how I was doing
They are
things.
too
They're
strong.
too strong. Like Darcie is now.
Darcie's too strong. What's her normal strength? 2 now?
I bought up to 2.
It's because you're a man. You got that T boost.
Well, now I want, like, I'm definitely spending money to get Rattray 4 to get Life 4 eventually so she can do this at like a whim now, because boy, we're talking about this on the chat too. I think the moment that clicked for Darcie was when, like, yeah, she went to cover herself and realized she didn't have to cover herself. And I think that was a moment where she's like,
Does the
"Ooh."
entire game just want to gender swap? Everybody gender swap?
No, but I think Darcie likes the freedom of.
Okay. I was like, I can run a Victorian game where you're all dudes. That's fine. Just get some. Like, I have a box full of mustaches over there I could loan out. They're pink, but you know.
I mean, that could be entertaining to like experience
I
as
say.
Evelyn.
So speaking of which, I need to double check with you after game tonight, but I just drank a bunch of ginger ale. My fault, sorry. But in 2 weeks, so we have Mage today and we have Mage next week. But the weekend of June 11th, Dork Tales is part of onyxpath Publishing Convention. Which is when OPP, onyxpath, the guys who write these things, come out and borrow the channel to do a bunch of games. And we are actually going to be running games that day as well. I'm actually running 2 games on that Saturday, still on Dorktale, so come and watch. I'm running a game of Mage the Victorian Age, not necessarily this continuity, we'll find out. But remind me, I need to confirm that after game what everybody's going to be playing. So I need to prepare for that. So it will not be part of this this will not be the same plot at the very least. And then afterwards I'm running an episode of Ghost Hunters. So that will be fun as well. And I'll kill everybody. It'll be good.
That game system's fun.
It is. It is. I've got the full book now that I can give you.
Ooh.
It's going to be really good. The, also Professor Multiverse, thank you for doing the memes in the chat. Or in the memes in our Discord.
Good.
They're so good.
Like, join our Discord.
It's so good.
I love the Chastity one. Yeah.
It's just on point. Yeah.
The Chastity one's the best.
I love it.
I feel a little
Love it.
left out though.
Oh.
You need to make one for me.
I mean, you're kind of part of the science one, but yeah, fair.
Yeah. Josephine got 2.
I did.
You don't know why someone would want to be a guy to reach things on high shelves.
You can do that with high heels.
Yeah, but think of the shelves that I could reach with high heels.
Yeah. Also,
These-
climb on the counter.
This is why I also say let tall girls wear heels, because it's
Oh my god, yes. You know, this is the one problem I have. I've been seeing the trailers for She-Hulk, and Marvel or Disney, probably Disney, de-muscle her. Like, she's
I
not
heard
as
that.
big as she should be, because they're like, oh, people won't like her if she's big. Did 2020 and 2021 teach you nothing?
And yet,
apparently not.
the favorite character from Encanto for little girls is the buff one.
Yeah.
Dude, the favorite character from everybody. It doesn't have to be little girls, little boys, big boys,
Okay.
big girls.
If anybody here loves seeing like buff girls who are very like down to earth and cool, go on Twitter and follow Claire Max.
Who's
Oh
Claire
my
Max?
god. What's his face?
Kyle?
Long hair because science.
Kyle Hill.
Kyle Hill's girlfriend.
Okay.
Well, polyamorous partner.
One of his partners. Yeah.
Yes. She's amazing.
Is she
Pink
really?
hair, cosplay,
Oh,
and
that one.
buff as hell.
Dude,
It's
muscle
great.
tone is fantastic. Like,
She's amazing. She's
that-
absolutely amazing.
the fact
So much work.
they didn't make She-Hulk as buff as they could is sad.
Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you? It's
She's a
She-Hulk.
Hulk. She's a Hulk. And
I'm
a
gonna watch it
lawyer.
anyway because I
Well, it-
absolutely love Tatiana Maslany, but oh well.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be. Oh, by the way, Daredevil got a TV show greenlit, so Daredevil's coming back with a new show.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
Need to watch Daredevil still.
Yeah, you need to watch Daredevil still. Damn it.
Oh, which cool thing I found out recently. I watched the behind the scenes of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Because I was sick. And it was really, really cool. They put a lot of effort into like looking at Egyptian to the point that the director is in fact like Egyptian,
Nice.
which is very cool. And like several of the people, like the actresses are Egyptian, and like they didn't just do mocap. They literally had people in like the god outfits standing there with a pole above them to show eye line acting. The voice actors were acting
Oh, that's really
in
cool.
the outfits.
it's awesome.
It was so cool.
Oh, I need to
Yeah.
finish that. I think I've got
So-
like 2 episodes.
It's
left.
so
Oh,
good.
dude, the last 2 episodes are really solid. No spoilers,
It's
but like
amazing.
go watch them tonight when you're bored. It's. Did you get through? Oh, Amy, episode 4 and 5 are the really good ones. Quick warning though, episode 4 is rough. Period.
Okay.
Our episode 5 is rough. 5. The penultimate
just
episode.
Expect the last half of the series to be rough because I think I watched. I think I.
It's
finished
just
episode
got some
3.
content warning stuff. You probably
Okay.
won't hit you too hard, knowing what I know about your psyche. But for you'll when you watch it, you'll understand some of our friends would not get through that episode well, including me,
Okay.
because it's got some
Good to know.
major child abuse things in it. Yeah,
to know.
but it's
Okay.
really good, super good. Moon Knight pilot had the best last 30 seconds of any pilot ever, though.
Yep.
Uh,
I'll finish it. I will, and then I'll finally finish watching The Witcher season 2, and then I'll finally get around to finishing Arcane, and I'll finally get around to watching the Obi-Wan.
I just love the
And episodes-
music
oh my
for
goodness.
Moon Knight. Like the starting and ending music.
it's super
That's good.
good.
Oh, good.
And then we're supposed to be watching Kenobi tomorrow, so I'll let you know if Kenobi's any good. I assume it'll be good. It's Ewan McGregor. You know, I will
Like,
say,
even if it's not well written, it'll probably still be fun. Is kind of how I'm looking at it.
so one of the things about Kenobi that really bugged me, I saw a meme earlier that was, you know that one that's like Jude Law and Dumbledore, and it's like, how did he go from this to this in just 20 years or something like that? It's like full Dumbledore versus young Dumbledore, and there was a picture of current Ewan McGregor and I'm blanking, but Kenobi, Alec Guinness, and it was like, how did we get from here to here in 9 years? Ewan McGregor has a more lined face. It's just he doesn't have a white beard, guys. Beards go white quick. I've got patches of white. Like it
Beards
happens.
can go white. Yeah, and they can go white from stress. Like, hey, maybe living on Tatooine and just
Maybe the trauma and the desert conditions.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that makes sense to me.
But it's like, if you look at Alec Guinness, he doesn't look that old. Like look at it and adjust for the film stock being from the 1970s/80s, depending on, you know, and it's like, if he was filmed with modern lighting, makeup, and cameras, he'd look probably pretty young. He probably smoked, though. Everybody smoked.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Also the weird time effect of how, people seem to be not aging as much these days.
Yeah, I think sunscreen probably helps. But also
Sure.
diet,
Also not smoking.
not smoking, not being around smoke as well, because it gets into your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ewan and Alec are the same age, or they're really close to that. People looked so old back in the day. Oh, the other thing that blew my mind. Okay, Jurassic Park. Okay,
Yeah.
How old was Laura Dern in the first Jurassic
I saw
Park?
that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I heard that. I saw that post, I think.
If you guessed 23, she was 23, guys. I saw that movie for the first time when I was like 9 or 10. I thought she was like 40. What? She was an adult. She was like a parent character in that. Because like when you were a kid, that's kind of how you looked at it. Like the parent characters and the kid characters, right? She was like the mom of that movie. She was 23. 23. Jeff Goldblum doesn't age, so he doesn't
Yeah.
count. The twin sons
Yeah.
accelerate age. Okay.
I mean, if I look at pictures of her from then now, I can see that she's younger than I thought she was when I saw it when I was younger.
But she doesn't look 23 unless you catch her in very specific poses. Usually ones like this. Like a couple of those shots, she's like, okay, I can see. She's got a weird skull shape. Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, and I think just like the shock and fear
Mhm.
in those pictures are usually just show her younger. There's
Mhm.
actually a really cute one of like her looking at, I think it's the Triceratops. It's mostly cut off, but her face is just like childlike wonder. It's great. But then she also has these like grimaces and frowny faces, and it's like she definitely looks a bit older there.
Nice. Right? It's just, I don't know. Some people look way older. Boop. Okay, folks. Any last things? Thank you, Motorcycle. I appreciate you.
It
All right, folks.
kind of sounded like a TARDIS from here.
Brrr. It's
A
yeah.
little bit. We talked about the magic blue box that time travel, so
This is true.
I've had Doctor.
Oh, we flipped it around though. It was the magic time traveling box with the blue man.
Copyright dodge. So
But
if
is he a doctor? That was the one question.
yeah, he's a doctor. He's a doctor of engineering, mechanical and electrical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
So if anybody, if you guys push me, I will run Doctor Who. By the way. All right. It's a good system.
I think we should play like a one shot at some point on stream for something
Mhm.
because it really lends itself to that sort of.
It's really great
Style?
one shot. Same with Star
Yeah.
Trek. Star Trek's great for one shots, hard for campaigns.
It's
All right.
great. I love the power of screaming and running away.
Right. It's the
Oh,
best.
so much fun.
Okay. So, folks, it is time to head back in to Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, not Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Sorry. I went on autopilot. What'd you say?
How did I know you were gonna say that?
Because I always go, welcome
was-
back to Wild Beyond. Because it's
Yeah,
such
I
a
was
good
hearing-
title. Like, it's a really easy one to say. Wild Beyond the Witchlight. It's got whoop, 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 right? Whereas, like, Call of the Nether, that doesn't sound good. Shards
Welcome
of Nerd,
back
that's
to Call of the
that's
Nether.
good. Reign of Em. Yeah, like, you gotta watch the way that you name things, right? Mage,
Yep.
the Victorian Ages era.
It's why I fret so much about naming anything. 'Cause
Right.
the name has to sound right in my head.
It was also when we had Reign of Emeries and Rime of the Frost Maiden
My
both at the
God.
same time.
Reign of the Frost Maiden. Oh, crap. That happened a couple times. Rime of the Emeries. Wiki, wiki, wiki. All right. I'm done. Good night, everybody. Okay. Do this. Eric Campbell ran an epic Doctor Who campaign on the internet. Link me in the Discord. I will watch it. All right. Let's head back into game. Y'all ready? Everybody stretch. Yawn. I don't know why I'm so tired. I just am. Yeah, Amy, nobody believes you're that old. Okay. All right. It's the same motorcycle. Were you just doing loops, buddy? Asshole. Sorry.
Donut with a TARDIS. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's if Rupert Grint ever gets the TARDIS.
Thank you, PR Multiverse.
Is there an Evelyn meme now?
I've got an Evelyn meme.
All right. I'm about to yawn again, then we're going to start game, okay? Welcome back to Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age. After a bit of dressing, a bit of prep, and a bit of heading out on the town, you find yourselves heading across inside of the now repaired, restored, and recolored carriage wagon. The fog is hanging low over London as you make your way across. The horses are eager to get out of the stable and actually stretch their legs again and are moving at a solid clip. Before long, you find that you have made it to your destination. Inside of St. James Square, there's a large building called Mrs. Falkland's. Now, there's no signage outside. Just a couple of thick-necked bouncers standing outside, brushing aside any folk that seem like they shouldn't fit in. It's a large square building that takes up almost an entire city block. You can hear the faintest whiffs of music from the inside, and as Teddy walks up, flashes a smile and a few pound notes over to both of the bouncers. They happily let you in. And before long, the five of you... Did Amelia tag along?
Did she?
Could she have convinced you?
Probably, if she wanted to come. Probably would have been something like I didn't think you'd be interested, but
You are not leaving me at this creepy house by myself.
it's not that creepy.
I don't
It's
want to
not
be
that
left
creepy.
here alone with a strange man that I don't know and a strange witch that I don't know. Oh, no, I said that.
It's okay. Yeah, okay, let's go. I mean, it's. I'm probably gonna be an educational experience.
As you burst through the front door, the smell of bitter smoke wafts around you. I'd like a perception and awareness or alertness roll. Your call going in here?
Would resonance have anything be applicable for a specialty?
Sure.
Perfect.
That'll be what you're looking for primarily then.
Yeah. Yep.
Would detail-oriented apply?
If you're looking for specific details in the environment, yes.
Okay.
What's the
Difficulty is 6. If you're using awareness, 8.
I'm using alertness, so that is going to be 3 successes.
3 successes?
Yeah.
0 successes.
On
Nice.
4
awareness.
successes.
No, alertness.
5 on alertness. And would you get 4 on awareness?
Awareness.
As you walk inside, there is going to be... We'll start with awareness first because it is the easiest one. This place has a heady sense about it. There's magic inside of these walls, and it's almost like you hit a... It's like walking inside of a building that is air-conditioned. There's a sudden chill that rises over your skin as the temperature internally drops for you. There's magic afoot here. And you're walking into the center of it. The resonance that you can taste on the air is one that is... It's bitter. It's bitter and herbal, like a rough, strong cordial. And it's emanating, well, higher than it is low. You can feel it toward the tips of your hairs. Your scalp tingles slightly. The rest of you, as you enter, Josephine, you are awash in sensation. This place is absolutely the strangest thing that you have seen in quite some time. There are all number of men and women wandering around, predominantly women though, dressed in skimpy uniforms, can-can uniforms, teddies, nighties, bustiers, all covered, mind you. There are no bits that are less exposed, but compared to the Victorian dress style, here you are seeing people in corsets that begin and end with just simple little short shorts at the bottoms of them. Enough that all of the most indecent parts are...
They're not wearing the outer garments. They're just wearing the base piece. Essentially.
They strut around. Even then, there are a couple of men who are dressed like that as well. But not only that, there are a couple of people that you will recognize as not really falling into either category. Some with what you'll recognize stronger jaws, but with long flowing hair curled and flowing in a very French style, dressed in that type of same skimpy corsets, but without any breasts to speak of, but still long, supple legs that have been shaved or waxed all the way up to the hip. Strange for this day and age, to be honest. There is no end of the expression of lust inside of this establishment. And anybody who's seen the show The Alienist knows just how common all manner of things were in these type of establishments. It's a fun show, actually. Content warnings galore.
I believe before walking in, Evelyn would have made sure her hat was on with the veil down, probably.
There is a wide room on the right where you hear music bellowing forth, and on the left another one where there is a bar with drinks being served. Now, inside of here, the gentlemen that are working the bar are dressed quite well, and as are the patrons. At the very least, they're all dressed like middle class. Their clothing quite nice. Thank you for reminding me of that, Jen. The clothing quite spick, quite span, and as you enter, a man with a handlebar mustache, who can't be more than about 25 or so. Clutching a bowler hat to his breast, stumbles forward, clutching a whiskey glass. I say, what are you doing here? You got more working girls that you've brought in, eh, mate? He goes and nudges Darcie on the arm. You brought some girls in? How much? How much? Are you a la carte? How about this one right here? Come on, show us.
They're not for sale.
Oh,
Sorry.
everyone's for sale. Everyone's for sale.
Not these.
I really want to see how this goes. Teddy's going to just kind of mutter. Hey, no, everyone's for sale. He's going to pull a roll of notes out of his pocket. You in the blue. Show us your bubbies.
No.
Come on, bitch. Show us your bubbies.
That is not the way to talk to a lady. Sorry, I've lost my accent. I'll get there again. That is no way to talk to a lady.
Mate, when I see a lady, I'll talk to one. This is where you punch him. Teddy's gonna butter.
Oh no, Darcie's gonna whale him in the face.
Make me a Dex and Brawl roll.
I think Josephine's like a split second behind Darcie because just confused, and then is like, oh, this is right. Not good. Don't talk to me that way. And goes also to punch him.
Nice.
What's my difficulty?
Difficulty is 6.
3 successes.
3 successes. Make me a strength roll, please. Strength plus 2.
Strength plus 2. Okay.
Can I also roll a Dex and Brawl just to see
Yes,
if
you
I
may.
can get a hit in?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
What is my difficulty for?
It's always going to be 6 on damage
Always
unless
gonna
I
be 6? Okay.
tell you otherwise.
1 success for me.
1 success. Roll me strength and brawl, or pardon me, roll me strength as your damage. No bonus. So
2 for me.
2. Okay.
For successes.
All right. So
I rolled
gonna...
a 10 and a 1.
Okay. So you are going to just crank him across the jaw.
Yeah.
And he's going to take a step back from the force of the blow. Josephine, what do you do?
I think I step in, and because I'm that split second behind, he's like knocked a little bit out of my range. So I do hit him, but I don't do any damage because
Okay.
it's not a real
So
hit.
where do you hit him?
I probably went low if Darcie was going high.
Okay.
So it probably went for somewhere in the gut.
Okay, so you punch him in the gut. He stumbles slightly, drops his glass on the floor, and as he does, all of you will see it start to... The glass falls toward the ground, looks like it's about to shatter, and as it does, you all will see a motion of his wrist and hear this clicking noise, all in slow motion, this as this small rigging system of metal slides down his sleeve, carrying a small one-shot pistol with it that hits his palm, and time will continue to slow. And I would like everyone here to do me a favor and make me a willpower roll. Roll your current willpower against difficulty of 7.
Hey, Chad, if you want to buy a willpower. So what is it when you get no successes and a 1? That's a botch, right?
That's a botch. Hey, congrats.
And that was all of
Oh,
us,
boy.
right?
That was all of you, yeah.
And are we re-rolling 10s on this
dear.
because it's willpower or no?
You may, yes.
I
Yeah.
only have 1 willpower. Okay. What have I been
4
doing?
successes.
4 successes? Perfect.
And what was the difficulty?
Difficulty is 7.
Okay. I succeeded. Yes.
Okay. All right. Everyone who succeeded,
4.
you are... The glass is going to continue to fall. The hand is going to raise up, and the trigger is going to pull. And nothing is going to happen. And then you realize that the music has stopped. The people around you watching the fight have stopped. Spittle is flying out of their mouths, their lips extended in distended savagery. Darcie, you are completely frozen in place. Amelia is completely frozen in place. She also botched, if that makes you feel better. And the other three of you and Teddy are acting completely normally. The entire room is frozen. The glass hovers a centimeter from the ground, about to explode.
Evelyn's gonna look at it and go, "Oh, that is very sophisticated."
1 second. Chastity's gonna go and try and grab it before it hit.
You may.
And then just put it on the ground if she can.
Absolutely. At the moment that here's the question. Do you touch it to grab it or do you poke it?
She grabs it. She goes to hold it.
So you will catch it. You feel a bit of resistance, it's like you're catching it from a fall when you pick it up. So it still has its innate motion, but you'll be able to counter it. And you can see that the pistol's pin the hammer is about to slam home in the pistol. There is a slight gap that you were saying. It's pointed directly at Darcie's chest.
Bang, point it down at the ground.
Oh, I've got a better one.
What?
Cockerfoot. Probably foot. Okay.
Foot.
Push it down more. Teddy's going to walk over and push it all the way down so it's pointed at his own foot. So this is weird.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming the people you brought us to see have a way of keeping things from getting out of hand.
Yeah, I think so.
Josie's gonna just poke Darcie in the arm and be like, "Is this time magic?"
Darcie does not move. Unlike anything else here, Darcie is frozen like a statue. Even Darcie's clothing does not fold when you push on it.
Are they gonna be okay?
Interesting.
Please, you hear echo down the hall from the stairwell in front of you. Please, do come upstairs. The party is on the 3rd floor.
Can you let this one go? He comes with us, pointing at Darcie.
There is no response. Joe? Heads or tails?
Heads.
Teddy's going to pull a coin out and is going to flip it. Heads will be high. It comes up heads. Okay, I'll grab the legs.
Can I use, this was going to be my backup plan, but can I use some forces magic to lighten the load?
Yes, you may. Give me a forces roll. Give me an arete roll.
Difficulty?
Difficulty of 4. No, 5.
That's 4 successes.
Okay. So yeah, you'll be able to basically make him weigh not much of anything at all. So the two of you will be able to kind of like picnic carry him up the steps.
Yeah.
Amelia is still frozen in place at the bottom of the stairs.
If I go over to her and try
Actually, I apologize. She didn't botch. She just failed because she got a 7. So what do you do to her?
Like, is she also completely immobile the way that Darcie was?
She's completely frozen. What do you do?
I'm just gonna try and get an arm around her to try and tug her along, like arm over the shoulder.
Tickle, stop. What?
Okay. Hands on shoulders, pat down arms, and
Hi? Hello?
okay, I think you're okay. There's some
I'm not
Time
even,
is
I don't even
frozen.
care. I don't even care. Why are they carrying Mr. Darcie up the stairs?
because he's frozen in time.
Okay. And she's just going to follow them up the stairs. I need both of us to make a strength roll to not bump Darcie's head on the stairs.
Be
That's
careful
really
with
funny.
my
I had
head,
not made that
please.
connection until you said it.
So said what?
Calling Darcie,
Mr.
Mr. Darcie. From when I was like, all right.
I rolled a 9 and a 10.
I rolled a 6. So between us, so Darcie's gonna have a bruised butt, I'm pretty sure.
No! My
Just a little,
tongue
a little.
is-
Just a little bruised. This is what happens. You move the butt fat, like
That's Ireland's ass right there.
that's a potato. All right. And with that, you're going to climb the stairs 3 floors up into the top area, where you'll see that it opens into a wide. It's almost like a hotel inside of here, with wide hallways that are leading into a number of rooms. But on the leftmost branch away from the stairwell, there is a large set of double doors at the end of the hall. Wide open. Inside, it flickers with candlelight. It is the only door on this plush red carpet that seems designed to lure you forward. It's waiting for you. You can smell acrid scents rolling from inside. Smoke plumes out of the room in blue and gray hues. Do you head in?
I think if Josie's trying to carry Darcie with Teddy, depending on if Josie's in the lead, she just wants to get this body to where it needs to be. So she just goes straight in.
Okay. How about everybody else?
I'll follow.
Okay. Right. Please.
I frozen. I get no say.
Yeah, you're going in. Sorry, bud. Oh, cool. I didn't realize that they added that. Nice. Sorry, I'm just adding one thing here real quick. And then...
I'm just basically picturing this like Darcie's like the like cardboard cutout kind of thing where it's just like frozen
Basically.
in that same thing and they're just like awkwardly
One
corner, pivot.
Just a thought. Is there any
What?
way to bolster myself or protect myself from airborne drugs?
Yes, you could use a matter shield.
Okay. Could I just have like a very minor one up, knowing that this
Sure.
is a pleasure house essentially, which probably also equals opium levels if it's
Sure, make me an
statics?
Rattray roll, just retroactively. Difficulty of 5. 4. We're gonna use
3.
3? Okay, yeah. So yeah, you can have basically like 2 dice of immunity.
Yeah, so whatever.
Treat your stamina as being 2 higher for purposes of drugs.
Cool.
You have a filter.
Yeah, essentially. That's what she wanted.
As you round the corner and head toward that room, the candlelight is going to lick into the air. You can see that it's a wide penthouse suite designed, in this place, probably for orgies. But here, it is completely outfitted with flowing tapestries, hanging strips of fabric. The ceiling inside of here is a good 20 feet tall, and you can see there are several people who are doing, well, I think these days it's called aerial scarves, but basically wrapping themselves up and down in these long lengths of fabric. Most of these people are dressed very scantily or nude, and you can see that there are quite a few people lounging. Most of the ones inside of here are nude, scantily dressed, or comfortably dressed. A lot of flowing fabrics. People are lounging in the in some gas lights in the corner on the back right that are being painted actively right now. Another is lounging on a massive pillows like an Arabian prince and reading through a stack of books off to several people nearby who are listening with abject joy as if they're children at a story time, all while passing around a hookah back and forth. There's a woman in the corner with a veil like a fortune teller or one of the traveling Romani who's doing card readings. And in the far distance, there's a woman of Asian descent staring at you. Her makeup is severe. The kohl around her eyes is thick and dark, and the tips of her eyes are painted like knife edges, like stilettos plunging into her lacquered hairline. She's dressed simply in a floral red Chinese dress that hangs down to her ankle. No shoes. And as you enter, she raises a severely plucked eyebrow while sucking on a long, thin, wooden and brass pipe. She calls out over her shoulder into a side room in one of the languages of the East. Yes, fine then, you'll hear from inside of the room, a man's voice, lilting, not particularly accented, American perhaps? She'll scoff, twirl her pipe to dislodge some ash from it, and Darcie will suddenly go, will lose their rigidity as the spell is on you.
What the? What?
You got caught in the spell pretty easy for a big man, she says.
Still getting used to this form.
She gestures her head toward the room on the left. They're waiting for you.
Evelyn is basically tucked back behind Chastity and Teddy.
Because you're carrying the box, right?
But also because she's probationary member, remember?
That's fair.
She doesn't know how many people actually know of her or know where she came from, and thus might not be very friendly. So she's kind of staying quiet into the back.
You. Dashwood. Yeah? I mean, yes. Hi, how's it going? They want to see you. Unpaid debts.
Teddy. But
Perhaps my uncle had credit problems. Shall we?
Did you guys carry me up the stairs?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that
You put on some
that-
pounds recently, Darcie.
And fixing the, gravity around you, it only does so much.
Oh. Sorry.
Chastity's just gonna start walking towards the side room.
Yeah, Darcie will follow after, like, straightening himself a bit and kind of, like, trying to, like, puff up his chest a little bit and, like, trying to, like, basically do, like, the opposite stance of how she would normally be kind of holding herself. She's trying to, like, poise confidence and gruffness and follows Chastity. Just, like,
Chest out.
You're trying to
exactly.
act male.
yeah.
Yeah. Josie will follow after Chastity as well, making sure that Evelyn is close too.
Yeah. Evelyn will stick near Josephine.
Okay. Stepping into the side room, you can see that it is a large, well-appointed bedroom. The master bedroom of this suite, in fact. There's a large four-poster bed, as well as several sitting chairs. A full bank of windows that look out over St. James Square, as well as a large circular skylight, letting in a bit of the pregnant moon. Now, unlike the rest of the room, the salon back beyond that is full of people enjoying themselves. Dozens and dozens of people. This room only has 3. Pardon me. Only 4. There is one lying in the bed reading a book. But the 3 that you will see, there is a tall, gaunt woman with freckled cheeks and silvery blonde hair. She's in the strange place between her 30s and her 50s. Her face is quite young, and yet she's so pale, and her hair is unnaturally gray. And yet her face shows no lines of wrinkles or any types of actual aging marks. She dresses with a high-collared outfit and lies on the ground, staring up at you in front of a fireplace. There are 2 men sitting nearby, playing chess. One dressed in shirt sleeves and a vest, gaunt, bespectacled, looking every bit a Poindexter. Looking very much like Harold Ramis, if we're being honest, in the early Ghostbusters movie. And the other is a portly man with mutton chops, who, when the other one turns and looks at you, switches some of the pieces on the board and gives you a knowing wink. The man on the bed has pouty lips and a very, very broad, wide forehead, long hair that dangles around the sides of his chin, and full lips, droopy eyes. He's dressed in a housecoat and is flipping through a journal book, taking notes as he reads. I say, welcome now, says the man with the glasses. Are these the ones that... This is Mr. Dashwood. I'm Mr. Dashwood. You're not... Oh, for God's sake, Dewey. Welcome, says the fat man with the mutton chops. I'm Oral Spaven. I'm the one presently renting this space. Pleasure to have you here. This is Dewey Arkham, and Liza Sweeting. And I'm sure that everyone knows our guest there. The man on the bed doesn't appear to notice you. you've already met Mama outside. You're not the Dashwood I was expecting. Oh well. You can speak with Mr. Arkham after this. What brings you here? We have something that we'd like you to look at. There's plenty to look at in this place. But I suppose we should... Introductions. Yes, introductions are quite in order. Enchanté. He stands up and bends his considerable girth into a bow for the ladies.
Darcie's going to instinctively bow as a man and then remember halfway
curtsy?
through. Curtsy, yeah, she's gonna curtsy and then. Shit.
Spending some new time in it. Spending time in a new form, are we?
It really obvious, isn't it?
If you know where to look, do yourself a favor. When you sit, don't cross your ankles. You'll regret it.
Thank you. Good to know, sir. And then he'll like try and bow. Darcie Harkness is.
Darcie Harkness. Oral. Oral's fine. Darcie, if I may.
You may.
The rest of you?
Josephine Carrington, Banny Tharsis.
Ah, Matic. Well met. Good to have you here. Your people are always welcome in the house, particularly those of you that dabble in a bit of the alchemical. Speaking...
Of course.
Drink for anyone?
No, thank you.
Champagne? Wine, liquor, some gin, perhaps? Something nice and light? Cigarette?
I'll have some scotch, if you have it. Or, not scotch. No, Irish one drinks scotch.
They drink whiskey, probably.
Whiskey.
Yes, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
If you're going... Another tip to the wise, if you're planning to be a gentleman, abstain from whiskey. Something with some nice... allow me. Ladies, anything for you? I'll have a gin as well, says Amelia.
I was gonna go for the champagne.
Whatever you'd like. Nothing to smoke? We have a number of things. We have, of course, tobacco, marijuana, peyote, and something new from South America that Dewey was able to import.
I think I'll just be good with the alcohol. I don't necessarily know what the effect's going to be as this, so I think I'll stick to one vice.
Maybe next time.
You're missing out, says the voice from the bed. You must have a cigarette. A cigarette is the perfect type of pleasure. It's exquisite, and leaves one never unsatisfied. The droopy-eyed man looks over at you. Oh, come on, Oscar, don't push.
The light bulb goes off in Christine's head.
The light bulb just went off in Robin's head, too.
Anybody who wants to may do me a favor, and you can roll me an int and what would this even be? Int and etiquette, int and streetwise, int and
I would go with
art?
etiquette for me.
Ooh, I have art. Yes.
I can streetwise it.
Sure.
I can streetwise. Okay.
I have none of those.
Fair.
Why would I need etiquette?
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty on etiquette is going to be 8.
Difficulty for
That's
art.
2 successes.
Art is going to be 6.
Oh, wait. I have vice.
Vice is going to be difficulty 5.
Nice. Okay.
I got 5 successes for Darcie.
5 successes?
Yep.
Can I just roll a
6, 7,
straight
7, 8,
int
9.
at a higher
Straight.
difficulty?
Yeah, do it. Give me int at 7.
So, no successes.
Did you
And I
botch?
rolled a 1.
Double botch.
You double
you're
botch? You
American.
botch? So, yeah, you're American. Okay, so one of you thinks that this is Oscar de la Hoya, who doesn't even exist yet, and one of you thinks this is Oscar the Grouch. I don't know. But you know what? Both of you think this is an incredibly unimportant person. And just, this is going to color your interactions with them from here on in, okay?
Alrighty.
Darcie,
noted.
looking at that, glancing at him, glancing at that, glancing at like the cane and the fur jacket next to him, and as he lowers the book, you'll see that it's like scrawled with all manner of writing and things. You'll immediately recognize Oscar. Oh God, that's Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
Yep.
Irish too, so like Darcie's like freaking out.
Well, this is also when he's at his most popular, is in the 1890s. So
Yes, in fact, his play, those of you with etiquette and art will know that his play, An Ideal Husband, is presently 2 blocks away at the Haymarket Theater.
and it's probably doing quite well currently.
It's just about to go into production. They're still in rehearsals. It's about to start. But A Woman of No Importance was very successful. We're in the period of his 4 comedies right now. What you will not know is that An Ideal Husband should run for, I believe, 390 shows.
Wow.
Damn.
It's very, very popular. This is, we are some point in the year or 2 before his buggery charges. Or maybe less. Who knows? Who knows? Depends how busy he gets. And what Darcie's up to.
Yeah, now.
Yes.
Mr. Wilde.
Not if I can help it. Did you let fans in? By the way, I listened to a recording of his voice. It is surprisingly like that. There are very few recordings of his voice because 1890s, and it's very much like this. It's very droll.
I mean, that may have been an affectation even because he was very flamboyant.
It's true. It's true.
I'm
even
sorry,
for
I
the
don't
time
mean to
period.
I just a fellow Irish man,
Fellow
woman
Irish.
myself. I just an honor.
Love, did you bring a potato?
Why, of course.
Then, by all means, come and join on the bed. Well, it appears to me that you can all get acquainted with each other momentarily, says Oral. In the meanwhile, I would greatly appreciate if I could see what brought you here.
Evelyn will kind of heft it.
Chas will do the, like, presentation, like, and behold kind of motion.
It's a box.
It's
Yes.
of unique composition and claims to be from the future.
See, what kind of hat do you have inside of it? It's a joke. A lovely lady with a hat box. Set it on the ground. Claims to be from the future.
Yes, it was quite fascinating. It created a small see-through man of light that spoke, much like a gramophone recording.
We've determined it's not a ghost from the future.
Oh, good.
That part, I think.
He will turn, grab the tray that he'd set up, and walk over and hand each of you a beverage that if you requested one. Well. Let's find out where it's really from then. This will take me a few moments. So, in the meanwhile, anyone who would like to join me may do so. Miss Chastity, was it?
That's correct.
If you are interested, you are welcome to join me in this endeavor.
I think I will. Yeah.
For this to see through this much time. Well, there are two ways. Would you prefer the dragon or the fairy?
Flip a coin.
Lady's choice. Dragon or the fairy, you have points of vice, you know exactly what he's talking about. You're going to get high off absinthe or you're going to get high off opium to do this.
I think just gonna go for the absinthe.
Absinthe probably less addictive. Well, it just so happens that we have an order that came in from France recently. Lovely stuff. See what the fairy can bring along with us. Do be a dear, pull up some cushions for us. If you're doing that, then I can't help but join in as well, Oscar says, rising from the bed. He wanders over, dressed in not much more than his robe, kind of sagging open. In fact, nothing more than his robe. Now that he comes out from underneath the sheet that he was laying beneath, he ties it, but not before his fairly scrawny frame, to be honest, at this point in his life, is fairly clearly exposed. He seems to have very little shame. Lights himself a rolled cigarette and sits down on the ground next to you all. Excellent. Mr. Dashwood, would you join us as well? I'm afraid that I have no choice. I will too, says Liza. Would be happy to. Good. In that case, he goes over to a cabinet, opens it, and pulls out a thin decanter made of bright crystal. And inside of it, you can see is sloshing this emerald green liquid. He pulls a small, thin box out from a nearby shelf. Inside are a series of slotted spoons, each in the shape of a smiling skull. The eyes and breaks in the jaw, natural drains. They're pure silver, with long handles. He brings them over, as well as a small tray full of sugar cubes. And slowly shows each of you, should you not know how to do it, how to enjoy a beverage like absinthe. As you sit on the ground, do you sit there to get involved in this, sitting in a circle around this?
Well, Chastity's getting involved. I don't know about.
You're going to feel a weight at your side as someone else scoots up next to you.
Look.
Amelia shoots you a glance. Looks fun. Anyone else who would care to, I won't force this on any who are not of an ecstatic mindset.
I'm somewhat new to this. If I have a different tradition, might I still...
Not for this
help?
ritual.
I would prefer to sit and watch if that's fine.
Of course. By the tenets of Ananda, the Code of Ananda states that no pleasure can be forced on another. All pleasures must be given to willingly. And one moment while I just quickly check, because they actually put some basic rules for absinthe in this, and I want to see how much it messes you guys up, because that's fun, because it's a nice fun drug.
So I didn't I did not understand the answer. Was that a yes or a no? Could Darcie join?
Not unless you're sitting around the circle and drinking too.
Yeah, but I meant like it's not like she was asking for the culture. Like, is it rude of her to join as a different tradition?
So
yes.
let's etiquette that then, because I thought you meant I have a different tradition of doing
No.
this.
She was asking like, you guys are you're ecstatics. Can I join or can I not? Like, is this an ecstatic only party kind of
If
thing?
you
That's
wish
what she
to
was asking.
partake, anyone is welcome, my dear boy.
It's a whole new day of firsts. Why not? And Darcie will sit down then and join.
Evelyn's gonna find a seat somewhere nearby that is. Hopefully, it looks like it has not had sex on it recently, or it's been cleaned in
just-
between.
Ooh, do you have the ability to summon blacklight?
Do I? Force it?
Yes,
feel
yes,
like-
you do.
Matter.
You just like bodily fluid detector. Boop.
Yeah, Josephine definitely is like, do.
Strangely, that one really comfortable chair over there looks safe. Suspiciously safe.
Like it's been cleaned.
Like it's like the chair for prudes that they set in the room. Just it's for the person who likes to watch and nothing else. That's where we put our grandmother to judge us.
Fair. I don't think Josephine would catch that context, so she's like, yes, a clean chair. Offer it to Evelyn and like sit on the arm of it or something.
Let's see.
All right, Evelyn will be the prim proper one.
In addition to the common laudanum, absinthe, dubbed the Green Fairy for its reputed hallucinogenic effects, becomes an infamous tipple for the decadent set. Although most, though not all, definitely not in this case, lack the formulations of absinthe lack opioids or cannabis. This definitely has one of the two. This drink's reputation gives it a devastating allure. Artists and mystics cannot get enough of the bitter drink, and though it is primarily its primary component is a staggering amount of alcohol, absinthe provides an invaluable tool for the derangement of the senses. I love the way this mage book is written, guys. I think it's great. And the quick game systems behind this are page 441. Okay, so anybody who is getting involved in this, we're going to go to the drugs, diseases, and poisons section. So toxin rating. So poison or drug. Alcohol, I'm going to do this at probably the prevalence of methanol rather than just alcohol. So alcohol is a difficulty 6. I'm going to count this as a double strength because it is quite... No, it's going to be triple with Wormwood. This is going to be a level 3. Yeah. Okay. So, toxin rating. The number of health levels that it inflicts upon the character. This is bashing. Oh, okay. So... 1 or 2 times per ingestion. Okay, I'll only count it as a 2 because it's... Okay, or a stamina roll. Okay, So anybody who's participating at this needs to do me a favor and make me a stamina roll. Just stamina against a difficulty of 7.
Okay.
Okay, Teddy's fine.
I've got 1 success.
2 successes.
2 successes? Okay. So the way that means is, so what this means is when you're making this roll, so say you drink a sizable amount of alcohol, okay? You have a difficulty 6. What that means is that you're not rolling to see if you're drunk. If you drank a full pint of vodka, you're drunk. The question is, do you take damage from it? In this case, nobody here is going to take damage from it. Even Amelia got 2 7s. So she's fine. Remember, you guys drink gin like it's water. It's the 1890s. The fact that you turned down alcohol is a little weird. I know you turned it down because this is an ecstatic place and you don't trust them. But it's a little weird that, like, you know, if anybody's like, I'd rather have water, this is the 1890s. No, you wouldn't.
No, you would not be drinking water.
I was going to say, to be fair, Concordia is different. So Josephine has had to learn these things when she came here.
Yeah, I think that Josephine would probably be more comfortable with ecstatics than people from Earth would be, just because you're like, yeah, they don't force things on you, it's against their rules, but they will give it to you if you ask. You know? So
Josephine also has the naive flaw, so she's just like, best in everyone.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
It's great.
So
Darcie has curiosity, so she's like down to try everything because she's like, I'm curious, man.
Nice. Okay, so here is what is going to be happening right now. So you're going to be, so you do not take damage. You are going to take. Okay, so I need you, everybody who's partaking, to do one more thing. And that is going to be, I need you to make me psychedelics, opiates. Wow, they really went all in on this one. I'm going to say that that is going to be... Oh, wow, that's a really cool system, guys. Congrats. Okay, I'm going to give you one roll first of all. So I need everybody to make me another stamina roll, difficulty of 9. And... yeah.
Nope.
Okay, tell me if you botch. Teddy failed. Good job, Teddy.
I just failed.
I just failed. No botch.
Amelia passed.
Amelia's just like, she's like, I'm so done with this. I'm just mentally
She's just
like,
pounding it. So everybody here. So everybody who failed subtracts a die from perception and dex pools until this wears off, just because you're gonna be you're drunk. However, because this also has a hallucinogenic in it, a dose of
perception and
perception and dex.
Dex. Okay.
You also, for the remainder of your trip, as you begin to drink this liquid and it begins to take hold with startling speed, you're going to see the cup, as you place it on the ground, touches the ground a second before your arm's extended. You feel the cup touch the ground before you think to move the cup. You hear laughing in the other room begin to echo from ear to ear. You see wind rush in through the closed window, billowing the candle flames with naked bodies dancing on the wall in silhouette. All of you who have drank this are going to be at -2 to all rolls until this ends. Unless you are using correspondence, mind, or spirit, or time, in which case you have a -2 difficulty on all magic using those spheres. So correspondence, mind, spirit, and time.
So if we don't, we have -2 from the die pool.
For your
Or
die pool,
difficulty?
yeah.
Okay, because Yeah, sorry. The new, slightly newish. When you're saying minus, I'm like, is it?
It's minus off the pools always.
Okay.
So -2 to all rolls,
So
as
that'd be-
well as -1 from perception and dex. So
Yeah.
like if I need to do something perception, I'm rolling at -3.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's fine, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm just gonna
And
double check it.
Josie and Evelyn are over here taking notes for science. Just like,
Yep, so that's -3 dice on perception and dex. However, your time magic is super powerful right now. I'd like everybody to do me a favor and roll me. If you're participating in this, please roll me Rattray. Darcie, you may even roll me Rattray for participating and
is that-
believing in this.
-2 then?
Nope.
From that?
Not even a little bit. It is, you are just going to roll against a difficulty of 6.
Okay.
Which for you will be difficulty 4 now because you're blitzed. I would like you
Difficulty
to.
4, 'cause it's
you're going to be
really
difficulty
fine.
3 because that's the lowest you can go.
Jeez. Okay, so I'm rolling. Alright.
Okay, Teddy.
Glide
Wow,
3.
that was almost a botch.
3.
I rolled a 3, and a 2.
Okay. You drink that, you feel the walls and the world begin to undulate, begin to shift. And then you all go cross-eyed and feel the world sag and droop around you as you plunge into time. The other two of you, as you watch them on the ground sit in a circle, swaying slightly as they drink, and as this strange green drink takes hold, and they start laughing and chuckling and swaying back and forth like drunken bacchanals. What do the two of you do?
I think Evelyn will take out a notebook and start making note of what they're doing.
science.
What like Chastity and Darcie's reactions are, and how quickly, and
They sway back and forth. What were you asking, Joe?
I was just gonna say that probably put on Prime Sight, and I'm also going to be just like keeping a protective eye out. I don't expect anything to happen while they're blitzed, but
I would like both of you to do me a favor and make me a perception and alertness roll.
what's the difficulty?
Difficulty on this is going to be 8 because of how high up you are.
so many threes. I have 4 threes and
Oh,
a
wow.
6. So I fail.
You fail. So watching this, you're just going to keep an eye. You're mostly watching like to make sure that none of them are doing anything weird or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Evelyn, as you're sitting there watching this, you hear something outside. A cacophonous thunder crack as a gunshot goes off down on the street below, near where you know Dr. Freeman was sitting in his carriage.
I'm gonna go try look out a window.
As you rush out to the edge of the window, you'll see a gunshot still pluming with smoke as 3 men on horseback surround the carriage. Tall, white-skinned, bald men that you recognize from that first night. And I think we're going to call game there for this week.
Seems right.
In that moment, Evelyn is just, oh, bloody hell.
There we go. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Josephine, what?
I'm trying not to cough at the same time.
Nice. All right. So that's going to be it for tonight. We'll see you in a week, everybody. Hope you enjoyed coming back to this. Sorry it was slow in a couple of places while I had to double check some rules and things. But do you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good to get back to it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I've missed Josephine.
How do you like Man Darcie? Marcy?
Man,
Amusing.
Darcie is good.
Marcy.
Marcy.
Chuck. All right. Hey, folks, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Mage the Ascension of the Victorian Age. It's good to be back. And next week is going to be a little bit of action, a little bit of adventure. You got an Oscar Wilde cameo. And I strongly suggest that everybody go Google Oscar Wilde voice, and you'll be able to hear an actual recording of it. It's very hard to understand, but it's very like, I got to get back into doing all of my different British voices for this. So let's see. So the chat bought you all 2 points of experience, if I'm not
3.
mistaken.
We got 3. We got a
There were
third.
3? Cool. Well, you know what? I am a generous god. And it's our first game back after 7 months. I'm going to give you 4 points of experience, which means that is 7 points of experience.
Oh.
So plus 7 XP for the night. Don't expect it often, but tonight you're going to get 7, which is quite a bit.
It is.
Doesn't sound like it if you play D&D, but trust me, it is.
Oh, and it's also like it's a lot, but it's also not a lot when you would consider how expensive everything is.
Yeah, I'm saving up for Arte 4, man. Now that's my goal.
Nice. Oh, I also have to say, I meant to say this at the beginning of the game after you did the fiction, but yeah, having Josephine argue with her house flambeau mother, it's pretty perfect.
I took a long look at what
Beautiful.
the different like the houses and stuff that I'm like, yeah, the house flambeau mom's gonna be fiery. I'm going with
Yeah,
stereotype.
absolutely. Yep.
All right, so folks, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Mage the Ascension of the Victorian Age. We're reaching at it. It's about to get exciting. I'm excited. I think that this arc is going to have about 12 episodes in it before they move on to Paris, because you've got a few other things to do. And I'm very excited to see what we do with that. I hope you come back next week. And then the week after that, you join me for onyxpath Con, where we're doing some Mage the Ascension of the Victorian Era game that I don't know, maybe it'll be something completely different. Besides that, I really want to thank everybody at patreon.com/dorktales for making this happen. We couldn't do it without you over there. So if you want to support the channel and join the likes of our divine producer, DM Michael Gray, or, you know, our demonic producers, Soul Omen or Precarious, or our princes of the Patreon, which are Cubby Gummy, Buddy, Aeolus the Forever Cleric, as well as Taryn, the original Dorktales fangirl, Amberthist, and Trizelta. Trizelta's the other one who's to blame. If you join them, you'll get access to additional content as well as the fiction before these games is getting published there in a nice fancy PDF that Amy edited all fancy for me. And you get other cool stuff like access to our new podcasts and things like that are coming. Hope you do it. With that, we'll see you next time here in Mage the Ascension. Good night, everybody.